Chapter 130. Explain what? It's not time for the battle yet. Xia Zhe had the heaven-suppressing bell on his head, and two heaven-grade Taoist gates were faintly visible in his body. His aura was intimidating, like a divine spear that could pierce through the sky. His spiritual will was so powerful that it made Ding Jun panic. Yui Ling also walked out in a black dress. She had a noble temperament and a graceful figure. The heaven-rank Tao gates were also awakening in her body. She said calmly, War God Zhu Yan, junior brother Su Yan is in seclusion. After all, it's not time yet. However, Su Yan said that the battle will be held at Huaxia University. What? At Huaxia University? Ding Jun was furious. Fight at Huaxia University? Who doesn't know that Su Yan has some unorthodox techniques and can borrow the power of the dragon vein? This is not fair. It's okay. Zhu Yan had been sitting in the bronze chariot. He said coldly, Tell Su Yan to come out and hand over the things. If he does, I can forget about what happened before. War God Zhu Yan, junior brother Su Yan won't bow down so easily. He even asked me to help him build a stage. Yui Ling was calm and composed. Her temperament was noble and elegant. She said, Right now, the construction of the arena has already begun. Does War God Zhu Yan want to come in and watch the ceremony? I have spent a lot of time and effort. It will be finished in a few days. Ding Jun looked like he had eaten a pile of shit. Build a stage? It was clearly a loss. Who gave Su Yan the courage to build a stage? Ha ha ha. I also look forward to Su Yan's battle strength. Xia Zhe laughed. After all, Su Yan is the most outstanding student in Huaxia University. Even if Su Yan loses, it's not a big deal. After all, you, Zhu Yan, have been famous for decades. Su Yan has only been cultivating for how long? Xia Zhe, what do you mean by that? Ding Jun's face was livid. Are you saying that battle god Zhu Yan is bullying the weak? The battle was set by Su Yan, and he also said that it was a fight to the death. Young people are hot-blooded. I think God of War Zhu Yan can understand, Xia Zhe said. What's wrong? God of War Zhu Yan doesn't want to come to Huaxia University to take a look? It took a lot of effort to build this arena. Xia Zhe opened the gates of Huaxia College. What they saw stunned them. Hundreds of Huaxia College disciples were sweating profusely as they built a large arena. The group of people were dumbfounded. Just who gave Su Yan the courage? Building an arena? Aren't you afraid of a crushing defeat? Time passed day after day. Just as Su Yan had predicted, it took him 2 days to refine the restriction-breaking disc. Kid, are you sure you are reliable? Tai Baokai was still worried. If you fail, all your previous efforts will be in vain. There are at least 3 Taoist realm demon kings here. I can do it. Su Yan was full of confidence. He used the earth vein qi to conceal Huang Jin's figure. Huang Jin boldly approached the core hall. Su Yan observed the earth vein qi and stared at the array marks floating in the void. Soon, he locked onto his target. The sky sealing array needed the earth vein qi to exert its power. Now, as long as he could suppress the earth vein qi, he could make the sky sealing array lose its effect temporarily. Buzz. Su Yan threw out a restriction-breaking plate that was densely covered with dazzling formation marks. The moment it landed on the ground 50 feet in front of him, the formation marks that were intertwined in the void disappeared without a trace at lightning speed when the formation plate was awakened and layers of energy gathered underground. Quick! Huang Jin gritted his teeth and rushed in. He was unimpeded all the way. Not long after they left, the disc self-destructed, and the sky sealing array started to operate as usual. Su Yan kept Huang Jin in the Phoenix hairpin. The 3 of them rushed in excitedly and headed straight for the core hall. Tai Baokai raised his paw and pushed open a door. The ancient aura that greeted them stunned Su Bingshuang. This was a huge scripture library. There were at least tens of thousands of books in here. There were also some precious beast skin maps and jade scrolls. Su Yan opened the phoenix hairpin and took away all the secret manuals. Zhu Yan's Dao Hall had many precious things. Most of them were unearthed from ancient ruins. Their main goal was to find the origin essence stones. Soon, they entered the innermost hall. This Dao Hall was filled with divine essence. It was obvious that there were some rare treasures hidden here. After pushing open the door, Su Yan and Tai Baokai almost cried out. The interior of the hall was huge. It was richly ornamented and dazzling. There were ancient artifacts floating in the hall. There were at least 30 of them. Rich. This beast god is rich. This rich man is too rich. Tai Baokai was so excited that his eyes turned red. There were more than 30 divine weapons. There were even a few supreme-grade divine weapons. The value was shocking. Su Bingshuang was extremely excited. These were only the things in the hall. There should be some secret doors inside. There should be a large number of origin essence stones. Buzz. Su Yan stretched out his hand and pulled down a purple gold inner armor. The material was extremely tough and covered with mystical runes. A smile appeared on Su Yan's face. This was an inner armor, a defensive type inner armor. His physical body was already strong. If he had the inner armor now, his physical defense would be even stronger. Su Yan didn't hesitate to wear it under his clothes in case he encountered any danger. They were all quickly collecting the treasures. Tai Baokai bared his teeth and jumped up excitedly. He held a silver bowl in his paws. Hee hee. Tai Baokai laughed foolishly. The divine energy in his body flowed through the silver bowl. The bowl hummed and expanded. The mouth of the bowl was filled with a destructive aura and a strong devouring power. It seemed to be able to refine experts to death. A storage treasure. Su Bingshuang was envious and wanted to snatch it. Tai Baokai bared his teeth and pulled out the bowl to collect the treasures floating in the air. This is... Su Yan blushed. He pulled down a red dudu. This should be a treasure refined by a woman. The dudu was surrounded by red light. Su Yan determined that this treasure was very valuable. It wasn't much inferior to his purple gold inner armor. Bingshuang, do you want it? Su Yan handed the red dudu to Su Bingshuang. Su Bingshuang blushed and glared at Su Yan. I don't want it. If you don't want it, give it to me. Tai Baokai shamelessly came over and snatched the red dudu. Under Su Yan and Su Bingshuang's dumbfounded gaze, Tai Baokai quickly put it on and put the dudu on his back. F***ck. Su Yan was speechless. Tai Baokai wore the red dudu and continued to collect all kinds of treasures excitedly. Not long after, Tai Baocai's entire body radiated with light like a landlord. His 4 claws had 4 different kinds of bracelets, a bell hung around his neck, and he wore a red dudu. Only his head was bald. Tai Baokai wasn't satisfied. It put the bowl on its head. Follow me. Tai Baokai armed its teeth and rushed inside excitedly. With a slap, it opened a door and rushed in. When they arrived, Su Yan's heart trembled. This place was filled with a kind of divinity. This was a kind of amazing power that made them feel a little depressed. Divine material! Tai Baokai screamed. This secret room wasn't big, but the things inside were too precious. On the jade shelves were some very precious divine materials. What? This is a divine material? Su Bingshuang was surprised. This thing was too rare. It was hard to find a few pieces in the entire Huaxia alliance. Tai Baokai used a lot of strength to lift a piece of bronze. The bronze wasn't big, but it was very heavy. This piece of bronze was suffused with divine light. It contained a terrifying divine material. We're rich. This is a divine material. Tai Baokai grinned. Look, the divine material inside. Not only can it be used to forge weapons, it can also be used to refine divine materials. It can be used to cultivate, refine divine pills, and divine elixirs. Bronze divine material. Su Bingshuang recognized it at a glance. It wasn't just this piece. There was also a shiny silver divine metal. This piece was even heavier. We're lucky this time. Su Yan's face was full of smiles. Divine materials were very heavy. Ordinary storage space couldn't store them at all because it would collapse under the weight. The 3 divine materials were all of different attribute. Su Yan and the rest took one each. Su Bingshuang took the biggest one. She wanted to refine a new life artifact. They went to the next secret room. This was where the pills were stored. They were rather disappointed. They were all ordinary pills. They guessed that the precious ones were on Zhu Yan. This should be Zhu Yan's secret room. Tai Baokai saw a secret door with the most vigorous spiritual essence. After opening it, it was as if they had barged into a sea of scriptures. What entered their eyes was a jade table. On the table, there were a few ancient beast skin diagrams. Each of the beast skin diagrams glowed and transmitted the sound of scriptures. Su Yan and the rest were pleasantly surprised. They took the beast skin diagrams and were shocked. These were beast skin diagrams left behind by ancient experts. They recorded the cultivation scriptures and explained the understanding of the laws. What surprised them the most was a jade book. The words carved on the jade book were very mysterious. Su Yan looked at it for a while and felt dizzy. This surprised him. What kind of words were these? This is a Tao book. Tai Baotsai's eyes lit up. It's a very precious Tao book. We can't understand it now. Existences who can write Tao books can be called experts of the universe. Su Yan's gaze was attracted. He walked over and saw a praying mat. It was a praying mat made of grass and wood. Su Yan sat on the praying mat. His body was glowing. At this moment, Su Yan felt as if he was one with heaven and earth. Through the praying mat's power, Su Yan felt the laws of heaven and earth running through his body. Good heavens, what kind of treasure is this? Su Yan's body trembled. This praying mat had a special effect. It could allow one to sense the laws of heaven and earth more clearly. With the praying mat's help, one would be able to understand the laws more easily. As such, this item's value was terrifying. For a power, it could be used as a clan's most precious treasure. It should be a praying mat woven from spiritual plant. Its value is astonishing. Tai Baokai concluded. It can help one comprehend the Tao. This item is too precious. You can't buy it even if you have money. Su Yan put away the praying mat. They quickly left this place and rushed to the last secret room. Whether or not we can dig out the origin essence stone will depend on this secret room. Su Yan clenched his fist. Their goal in coming here was the origin essence stone. Natural treasures could be found slowly, but the origin essence stone was scarce. Thinking back to the time when the Huaxia Alliance opened up various large mining areas to excavate ores and forge weapons to deal with wild beasts, no one knew about the origin essence stone. Back then, all the origin essence stones that the Huaxia Alliance dug out from the mines were all bought by Zhu Yan at a very low price. This amount was astonishing. Tai Baokai struck with its claw. The secret door automatically glowed and blocked the Tai Baotsai's power. Useless at the crucial moment. Let me do it. Su Yan's palm was suffused with a golden radiance. His natal cauldron was also awakened. Under the state of man and weapon as one, Su Yan's battle prowess increased by a notch. His entire palm was emitting a mountain-crushing aura. You brat, this beast deity is not ready. Tai Baokai pulled a long face. Its eyes were like copper bells. It wanted to open the treasury as soon as possible. Bang! The secret room's door was shattered into pieces by Su Yan's slap. Boom! It was also at this moment that the origin essence chi gushed out like an ocean. Motherf *****, Su Yan shuddered and cursed. The entire secret room was filled with origin essence stones. They conservatively estimated that there were more than 40,000 of them. The WeChat group reposted in the circle. Everyone, please scan the QR code to enter the group. Chapter 131. Tai Baokai swallowed his saliva. More than 40,000 origin essence stones. This was too important for them. They could use these resources to break through the shackles and open the door. It was even more than enough, especially Su Bingshuang. Without origin essence stones, she couldn't open the divine grade door. Boom! Su Yan's reaction was very fast. He took out a divine weapon. At the moment of awakening, the jade cauldron rumbled and turned into a giant cauldron. It sat in the hall and blocked the storm of origin essence stones. Hurry up and collect the origin essence stones. Su Yan rushed in. He also needed origin essence stones to break through the shackles of his body. Once his body developed the power of laws, he would be able to fight Zhu Yan. Su Yan took out the phoenix hairpin and collected the countless origin essence stones in the secret chamber. The bowl that Tai Baokai had brought out could only hold 3,000 or so origin essence stones before it was full. He beat his chest and stomped his feet, almost biting Su Yan as he roared, "Split equally, the origin essence stones must be split equally." Su Bingshuang's face was full of smiles. She also had a treasure that stored origin essence stones. It contained more than 2,000 origin essence stones. These origin essence stones were enough for her to open the divine grade door. As long as she could open the first divine grade door, it would be relatively easy to open the second door in the future. The entire secret chamber was emptied of origin essence stones. Su Yan found that the phoenix hairpin could still store many good things. He couldn't help but be speechless. Bamboo Moon is still the best. She gave me this spatial treasure. Not only can it store a lot, it can even ignore weight. Brother, who is Bamboo Moon? Su Bingshuang's ears were sharp. She looked at Su Yan and asked, "Which woman is it? Why haven't I seen her before?" "She's probably his mistress." Tai Baokai smiled treacherously. Su Yan's face darkened. Just as he was about to reply, his eyes stared unblinkingly at a large black hole in the secret chamber. At this moment, the blood in his body was boiling. This seemed to be a way back, guiding Su Yan. "Here." Su Yan pointed at the cave and said. His emotions were surging as he cried out involuntarily, "It's very likely that this is the entrance to Mount Everest." Although Su Bingshuang had been here once, Mount Everest had changed. It was no longer the same as before. After hearing Su Yan's words, she stared at the ancient cave. She understood Su Yan's feelings very well. He had too many unclear connections with Mount Everest. Finally found it. Su Yan took a deep breath and walked towards the entrance of the ancient cave. The entrance to the ancient cave had always been sealed, and only Zhu Yan could enter. The space inside the cave was very large, and it was very quiet inside. There was not a single sound. The three of them were filled with anticipation as they walked towards the entrance of the ancient cave. Mount Everest hid too many secrets. The fact that Earth could enter the age of gods and devils was definitely directly related to Mount Everest. The cave was huge, and they seemed a little small in here. "I'm coming! I'm finally back!" Su Yan walked faster and faster. In the end, he could not help but sprint. At the moment when they reached the end of the cave, the three of them stopped. There was a door here, a huge bronze door. It was simple and unadorned, revealing the vicissitudes of time. No one knew how long it had been here. "This door is a little familiar." Su Bingshuang's eyes suddenly shrank. She was bright and beautiful. She had been here before. Back then, Zhu Yan had gathered many people and worked together to open a bronze door. However, the door that they met back then was a little different from this bronze door. "Tell me more about it." Su Yan took a deep breath and calmed down. He stared at the bronze door with a serious gaze. The bronze door was as heavy as the sky. They looked up at the bronze door. This bronze door was densely covered with countless patterns, as if it was a kind of immortal mark of the great Tao. When they looked at it, they felt dizzy and almost lost their minds. "It can't be opened." Tai Baokai stretched out his paw and pushed. The bronze door shone by itself, and immortal marks of the great Tao awakened on their own, like divine chains of the great Tao. For a moment, the bronze door released a destructive force. Tai Baokai was shocked and quickly retreated. You're saying that the bronze door didn't have these patterns in the past? Su Yan's expression became even more serious. Could it be that after I left here, the bronze door gave birth to a seal? Su Yan tried to open the bronze door, but he couldn't open it even after using all his strength. This gave him a headache. Suddenly, Su Yan thought of the dragon totem. He had a guess. Could the dragon totem be the guardian of Mount Everest? When he left that year, the dragon totem also appeared on his arm. And the dragon totem had set up a seal? If that was the case, this bronze door was too important. However, with the dragon's strength, how could Su Yan be a match for the dragon? Could it be that there was someone behind him? Kid, think carefully. How did you climb up Mount Everest back then? Tai Baokai said suspiciously. I really didn't know that there was such a thing on Earth. There are many secrets hidden on Earth. This beast deity speculates that Earth used to be extremely prosperous and might have left behind some inheritances. Beginning Sutra. The things that Su Yan obtained were the dragon totem and the beginning sutra. He thought for a while and made a decision. His hands landed on the bronze door. This bronze door didn't have any killing intent. It was just an extremely strong seal. 1. Su Yan's body transmitted the sound of scriptures. The beginning sutra was circulating. His entire body erupted with endless light. His body was recovering to its peak. It's moving. Su Bingshuang was pleasantly surprised. The bronze door was rumbling. It seemed that Su Yan was about to open it. Su Yan originally thought that it was about to open, but he was disappointed. The bronze door didn't open. Why can't I open it? Su Yan clenched his fist. He could feel it. Su Yan pondered for a while. He was unwilling to give up and continued to try. He circulated the beginning sutra to open the bronze door. But the result was still the same. How can this be? Can it be that I can't go in now? The dragon totem is also dormant. Su Yan gritted his teeth and circulated the upgraded version of the beginning sutra. His life spring and body were recovering at the same time. The bronze door rumbled even louder. What? Su Yan had changed. Did he need the upgraded version of the beginning sutra? Could it be that this was related to his ancestors? Thinking of this, Su Yan let out a low roar. The blood in his body was boiling. His body seemed to have the blood essence of a true dragon breaking out of his body. It pulled the beginning sutra and hit the bronze door. At this moment, the bronze door suddenly trembled. The huge door flashed with countless divine light, shining on Su Yan's body. 1. In an instant, all the potential in Su Yan's body erupted. It was as if time had stopped. Su Yan's soul was also solidified. He was like a key to open the bronze door. Especially the crystal pendant hanging on his neck. Rumble. At this moment the bronze door rumbled. The immortal marks of the great Tao were awakened one after another. Divine light rolled and shone, illuminating the sky. Even the starry sky outside the realm was trembling, and countless stars were moving along with the bronze gate. The entire Milky Way galaxy was shining brightly. Billions of stars were rumbling, and their auras were intertwined. The Milky Way galaxy seemed to have turned into a vast starry sky map. The aura it emitted seemed to be pushing the entire universe. How is this possible? Su Yan's expression changed drastically. This was the most powerful spell left behind by the mystical sect. With the bronze door as the core, as it opened, the vast Milky Way released a monstrous light. It was as if it had turned into a heavenly treasure and was moving along with the giant door. How magnificent was this! The entire Milky Way was affected by the starry sky. It formed a terrifying array that locked the bronze door. To open the bronze door, a key was needed. Su Yan seemed to be the key. Look, what's happening over there? Why do I feel that it's even scarier than the treasure in Emperor Qin's mausoleum? Could it be that another divine item has appeared? The Huaxia alliance was in an uproar. There were only a few days left until the battle between Su Yan and Zhu Yan. However, Su Yan had actually created an arena. This stunned everyone. Could it be that Su Yan really had the ability to fight Zhu Yan? Xia Zhe tried his best to stall for time. He didn't know how Su Yan was progressing. Zhu Yan's lair wasn't that easy to break into. However, on this day the outer space of Earth was shining brightly. Countless stars in outer space were rotating as if they were arranged around Earth. Billions of strands of starry light fell from the sky. This was too terrifying. It was even more terrifying than the awakening of Earth. Especially Zhu Yan's lair. The majestic mountain that had been silent for a long time suddenly began to rumble. This mountain didn't look like a mountain. It was more like a celestial mountain that led to the immortal sky. It had changed, as if it had turned into a celestial emperor overlooking the ages. Its aura was too terrifying. The sun was about to explode, and the starry sky was about to sink. Mount Everest had changed. It was swallowing the power of outer space. It had become infinitely terrifying. What's going on? Black Jiao Dragon and the other monster kings were shivering and crawling on the ground. The aura from the mountain was so strong that they were about to shatter. They didn't even dare to look at the mountain. This is? In Huaxia City, Zhu Yan was stunned at first. When he noticed the source of the aura, his face almost twisted. Could it be Su Yan? Zhu Yan was furious. Mount Everest was changing. The giant bronze door couldn't be opened at all. An extremely terrifying seal had been placed on it. Now that the seal was suddenly opened, the first person Zhu Yan thought of was Su Yan. Thinking that he was proficient in strange techniques, Zhu Yan's face turned extremely ugly. Could it be that he had sneaked into his dojo? Rumble! The bronze chariot immediately set off. 2 silver wildebeests quickly pulled the chariot and began to rush towards the destination. Could it be Su Yan and the others? The whole earth was shaking. Xia Zhe's face also changed. This movement was too big. What did Su Yan do? They didn't dare to hesitate and quickly rushed towards the destination. For a time, countless people rushed over, but the bronze chariot was too fast. It rushed towards Mount Everest at a terrifying speed. Creak! At this moment, the giant bronze door was slowly pushed open by Su Yan. At the moment when the door was pushed open, Tai Baokai and Su Bingshuang felt that their bodies and souls were destroyed. Brother! Su Bingshuang was nervous. Su Yan, on the other hand, was fine and stepped into the bronze door. Don't go. The pressure here is too terrifying. It's difficult for us to go in with our physical bodies. Tai Baokai said anxiously, You have to break through now. The movement here is too big. With Zhu Yan's bronze chariot, he will be here in less than an hour. You have to open the divine door quickly. Chapter 132. The aura that seeped out of the bronze door made the Tai Baokai tremble in fear, not daring to approach. However, Su Yan arrived at the bronze door unscathed. Upon arriving, Su Yan felt as though he had stepped into a furnace. It was a terrifying furnace that could refine the universe. Boom! Su Yan's body was fully awakened. The sound of chanting scriptures echoed from within his body. His body's potential was pushed to the limit. His limbs and bones flowed with the power of a true dragon. He could split the sky with his bare hands. Even his physique had been completely unsealed. His entire body rippled with exuberant divine power. Within his physical body, the immortal treasure that had been nourished by the origin chi that he had swallowed in the trial previously had awakened as well. At this moment, Su Yan was like a king among men. His every movement exuded the divine might of a king. This was the strongest state of Su Yan's physical body. His physical body resonated with the entire mountain. At this moment, Su Yan seemed to have fused with the huge mountain. He could feel the energy within the huge mountain and feel the aura of the huge mountain. Su Yan was tongue-tied. He seemed to have arrived at the heavens. The entire mountain was filled with an aura that could slay gods and vanquish immortals. It did not seem like a mountain, but more like a person who could traverse the heavens and earth. What the hell is this? Su Yan's blood was boiling. Only now did he realize that he was standing in an extremely majestic blood-colored space. The entire blood-colored space was like a giant that could support the heavens and earth. It was a powerhouse that reigned supreme in terms of physical strength. Su Yan sensed a power that belonged to Mount Everest. Perhaps it was not called Mount Everest. Perhaps it had another name. It was this power that drew out Su Yan's strongest potential. It shone brightly. Su Yan stood in the blood-colored space. He had a kind of epiphany. He seemed to see himself standing in the past, standing in the river of time. His head was above the heavens, and his feet were above the heavens. It was terrifying beyond compare. Boom! Su Yan's body was completely ignited. It was dazzling and resplendent. Along with the fluctuations that spread out in the blood-red space, the blood essence in his body began to rumble. At this moment, Su Yan felt as if he had broken through some shackles. An aura that could suppress the heavens spread out. Su Yan's body floated up on its own. He resonated with the giant mountain and felt its power. This power was the path that Su Yan wanted to walk in the future. Ah! Tai Baokai walked in while enduring the enormous pressure. He took out a golden bamboo. This was his natal bamboo, and it was filled with a kind of divinity and innate aura. It was like a spirit root that was born from the primal chaos. However, every step the Tai Baokai took was extremely difficult. It looked like it was about to explode as it walked. Tai Baokai screamed, "This is a supreme fortune. This mountain hides a terrifying opportunity. If you can comprehend some of it, you will be able to walk unhindered in the universe in the future." Tai Baokai circulated a portion of the Initiation Sutra that Su Yan passed to it. Sure enough, after circulating it, Tai Baocai's body glowed. Its fur was brilliant, and it spewed out auspicious clouds. It followed Su Yan into the sky. Tai Baokai, be careful. Su Yan's expression changed. His primordial spirit glowed as he passed on a portion of the Initiation Sutra to Tai Baokai. Boom! Tai Baocai's comprehension was very high. The sound of chanting surged within its body. At this moment, it looked solemn and dignified as if it had become a Buddha. It had turned into a golden panda and could clearly sense the supreme inheritance within the giant mountain. The higher it went, the more terrifying the pressure was. Tai Baokai could only soar in midair and couldn't move anymore. But here, Tai Baokai could comprehend even more inheritance. It was as if it saw the supreme being in its life passing on the path of body cultivation to it. The scene Su Yan saw was different from Tai Baocai's. Moreover, he was rising higher and higher. At this moment, he felt as if he had charged into a vast ocean. There were golden immortal treasures all around him. There seemed to be a supreme immortal treasure buried within the giant mountain. Su Yan was fusing with it. At this moment, he saw a terrifying giant in his spiritual world. The billions of immortal treasures hidden within his body were erupting. The immortal light of the great Tao poured down like a sea and shone on Su Yan's body. Ah! Su Yan roared. His body was resplendent. The power of the divine treasures was burning within his entire flesh shell. With the circulation of the Initiation Sutra, an even stronger divine power was born. This divine power was called the divine power of laws. I'm going to break through. Su Yan was extremely excited. His body continued to become terrifying. This kind of inheritance was too shocking. Su Yan was comprehending it. It was already an amazing achievement to be able to comprehend even 1/10,000th of the power of the immortal treasure. The immortal treasure hidden in the giant mountain contained billions of immortal marks of the great Tao. This seemed to be the most terrifying power of laws in the world, the power of the great Tao. No, I can't break through now. I must comprehend the inheritance first. Su Yen gritted his teeth and suppressed the potential of his body. He used his strongest spiritual will to comprehend its power and its circulation trajectory. Boom! His ears were roaring, and his sea of consciousness was about to collapse. Su Yan's spiritual will entered the immortal treasure and into a turbulent world. In this world, chaos was intertwined. Ancient universes were rooted in the chaos, surrounded by chaos essence and immortal marks of the great Tao. They emitted immortal power. Each universe was formed by the power of the great Tao. Su Yan was dizzy. With his current cultivation, he couldn't comprehend this power at all, but it gave him a lot of inspiration. He observed for a while and had a general understanding of his future cultivation. His understanding of the initial sutra had reached a higher level. The inheritance is too magnificent. I can't stay inside. This kind of inheritance isn't something I can comprehend now. Su Yen only had to comprehend it for a while before his spiritual will left the immortal treasure. He was both regretful and excited. No matter what, he had seen his future path. He could now open his Tao Gate realm physical body and evolve the rules of the body. Then, Su Yan's expression changed drastically. Coffin! It's still here. What's in it? Su Yan exclaimed. Once again, he saw a snow mountain dragon coffin at the peak of the blood-colored space. It was as vast as the sky. He couldn't forget the experience of opening the coffin. He couldn't forget that there was a person who looked exactly like him lying in the chaos. Su Yan clenched his fists and tried his best to get closer to the coffin. Every step was difficult. Su Yan bore the huge pressure and kept getting closer to the coffin. Right now, the Huaxia alliance was in chaos. All of the factions were bewildered because Su Yan seemed to have gone mad as she rushed towards her destination. He didn't know what secrets were hidden in Mount Everest, but there was a coffin floating in the sky. He didn't know the origins of the coffin, but he knew that it was extremely valuable. His goal was to take the coffin. It was said that once the coffin was opened, it would affect the entire universe. I must get it. It's been a few hundred years. I must get it. Su Yan clenched his fists. His eyes were full of madness. Ever since Su Yan appeared, he felt a sense of urgency. Su Yan was a variable in his heart. If he didn't get rid of him, he wouldn't be able to eat or sleep in peace. Moreover, Su Yan seemed to be closely related to the coffin. If it wasn't for Su Yan wouldn't have been trapped on Mount Everest for decades. Otherwise, Earth would have been dominated by him. Boom! The bronze chariot rumbled. The divine weapon was getting stronger and faster. The two silver wildebeests that were pulling the chariot were crushed by the power of the bronze chariot. Su Yan's madness was evident. Wherever the bronze chariot passed, there were countless cracks. Xia Zhe's expression was serious. Su Yan's destination was the source of Earth's essence qi. Tai Baokai had given him a map, so he naturally knew where Daozu was going. It's related to the source of Earth's mutation. Xia Zhe's fists were clenched tightly bitterly. I have a feeling that something terrible will happen in the Huaxia alliance. Warlord Xia Zhe and the others have left. Where are they going? And Su Yan is driving towards his destination like a madman. Countless cultivators chased after him. They also wanted to take a look at the destination, but they were too slow. It was difficult for them to catch up with Su Yan. Su Yan was close to his destination. He smelled blood and saw some ironback ant corpses. Su Yan's face was ashen. The bronze chariot went straight into the minor 5 elements formation. His body was filled with anger, causing the entire training hall to emit an oppressive aura. The monster kings were all shocked. Su Yan, Su Yan. Su Yan's body was trembling, and his face began to contort. Su Yan let out a painful roar. The corners of his eyes were almost bleeding. It was so uncomfortable that he wanted to cry. All that was left in his treasury were the few strands of hair that Tai Baokai had left for him. What was worse was that there was not even a single origin essence stone left. How could he cultivate on a planet that had just awakened without any origin essence stones? Zhu Yan was a rich man on Earth, but now all the resources he had painstakingly gathered had been robbed clean by Su Yan. He had become a pauper in an instant. Zhu Yan let out a furious roar. His eyes were about to pop out of their socket. He had always wanted to uncover the secret of the heavenly coffin, but now Su Yan had beaten him to it. Su Yan, the heavens will not forgive me if I don't kill you. The heavens will not forgive me. Zhu Yan almost spat out a mouthful of blood. His heart was burning with anger. He rushed towards the bronze door like a purple dragon. I'm coming! Su Yan was approaching the snow mountain dragon coffin. He had reached the peak of the blood-colored space. He grabbed a corner of the snow mountain dragon coffin and climbed up in one go. What the hell are you? Su Yan breathed heavily. He touched the coffin with his palm and felt a sense of déjà vu. It was as if he had slept in it for a long time. He wanted to lift the coffin lid, but he could not. Su Yan used all his strength, but he could not lift the coffin. Why can't I lift it? I could have opened yours back then. Su Yan was furious. He hammered the coffin, wanting to take it away. However, Su Yan found that he could not move the coffin because it was too heavy. He tried many methods, but it was useless. He could not open the snow mountain dragon coffin at all. Su Yan was furious. He sat on the snow mountain dragon coffin. This blood-colored space was as huge as the starry sky. The snow mountain dragon coffin stretched across the dome. Su Yan sat on the coffin lid. Suddenly, Su Yan felt a little lost. Chapter 133. This is bad. Zhu Yan is here. Let's go. We can't let him in here. Tai Baotsai's roar made Su Yan shudder. He jumped down immediately. He didn't care what Zhu Yan's purpose was, but he couldn't let Zhu Yan enter this blood-red space. Rumble. Zhu Yan's aura was terrifying, and his anger soared to the heavens. He had already rushed here, and his aura filled the entire giant cave as he rushed towards the giant bronze door. Female Azura. Zhu Yan's face was ferocious. He saw the female Azura, and she had even opened the first divine-grade Dao Gate. Su Bingshuang could open the Dao Gate a month ago, so she could break through this barrier as long as she had enough origin essence stones. Seeing the ground full of origin essence stone powder, Zhu Yan went crazy. These were all his resources, and now they were all taken away and used to break through. What a disgrace! Zhu Yan's eyes were filled with rage. He stood in the bronze chariot and suddenly stretched out his palm. This palm rapidly enlarged and turned into a giant purple hand. It was surrounded by a monstrous light of divinity and was densely packed with the power of law. Zhu Yan, who was at the third stage of the Dao Gate realm, had a powerful palm. Su Bingshuang erupted with her strongest strength, awakening the Saint Origin scripture, and struck out with the Saint Origin hand to meet the attack. Rumble. The power of the two collided, emitting a vast energy ripple that swept in all directions. Su Bingshuang's body trembled, and her entire palm was bent. She took a step back and was almost sent flying by Zhu Yan's slap. Stop! Seeing that Zhu Yan didn't want to continue fighting and was about to rush into the giant bronze door, Su Bingshuang summoned the star chain. She was wearing a purple robe, and the jade pendant hanging on her waist was awakened. Su Bingshuang summoned the three divine weapons, which made Zhu Yan's eyes turn red. They were all his treasures, and now they were all taken away by them and used against him. Get lost, get lost, get lost! Zhu Yan roared, completely out of control. The bronze war chariot suddenly awakened to the extreme. The war chariot rapidly enlarged like an ancient mountain. It emanated a terrifying pressure that was like the mountains and seas, causing the void to distort. Dharma armament! Su Bingshuang was suffocating. The power of the bronze chariot was not something she could withstand. When it attacked, she felt like her body and soul would be destroyed. Not good. Su Bingshuang's face changed. This was because Zhu Yan was very decisive. He left the bronze chariot suspended here while he strode towards the giant bronze door. Zhu Yan was also on the verge of exploding when he first arrived here. The scene was different from the last time he was here. This giant mountain was extremely terrifying. It seemed to be awakening along with the earth. For a moment, it exuded an aura that could slay gods and destroy immortals. Zhu Yan immediately began to circulate the opening chapter of the beginning sutra he had obtained, and the pressure on him immediately dissipated by quite a bit. This is... Zhu Yan's eyes were filled with ecstasy. Through the opening chapter of the beginning sutra, Zhu Yan could faintly sense the terror and majesty of this mountain. It hid a heaven-defying fortune and an invincible inheritance. This can't be the legendary Origin Mountain, right? Zhu Yan was agitated and his heart was sobbing. He was frantically trying to comprehend the inheritance of the space of the snow mountain. He wanted to obtain everything in this giant mountain. But at this moment, a Tai Baokai wearing a red dudu, with a treasure bowl on its head, and armed to the teeth, stared with its bell-like eyes and fiercely rushed out. "All of you, get lost!" Zhu Yan roared. His eyes flashed with a ferocious killing intent. He instantly raised his palm and slashed towards the Tai Baokai. Facing Zhu Yan, who was at the third firmament of the Dao Gate realm, the Tai Baocai's entire body glowed with treasure light. The treasures on its body began to awaken one after another. The Tai Baokai, who was armed to the teeth, had at least a dozen treasures on its body. This scene made Zhu Yan so angry that he was about to explode. All of the treasures were his, all of them. The Tai Baokai grinned and laughed foolishly. It had made up its mind not to let Zhu Yan obtain even a trace of the inheritance. Ah! The Tai Baocai's complacent look made Zhu Yan roar crazily. He instantly unleashed his strongest combat strength and charged towards the Tai Baokai. After all, he was at the third firmament of the Dao Gate realm. His strength was shocking. In an instant, he suppressed the aura emitted by the Tai Baokai. His palm also crushed the layers of treasure light as he slashed towards the Tai Baocai's head. "Baokai, stop him and delay him for a while." Su Yan suddenly descended from the sky. He was even carrying a giant coffin as he dove towards the giant bronze door. This scene made Zhu Yan ecstatic. The heavenly coffin was actually carried out by Su Yan. It was the creation that he wanted to take away even in his dreams. Zhu Yan laughed hysterically. "Ha ha, Su Yan, what a good Su Yan. Stay here. You can't escape from my palms." Su Yan's speed was extremely fast. He rushed out of the giant bronze door as fast as lightning. Zhu Yan attacked furiously. He gave up on killing the Tai Baokai and rushed towards Su Yan. He wanted to snatch the coffin away. Rumble! Zhu Yan charged outside. The next moment, his expression changed. Su Yan had escaped. He ran faster than a rabbit. However, the coffin he was carrying had disappeared without a trace. It turned into waves of nomological divine power and dispersed. Zhu Yan was trembling. His eyes were red, and his mind felt like it was about to explode. His eyes quickly became bloodshot. He was so furious that his hair was disheveled. In the end, he almost bled. He let out a furious roar. He had been fooled. Su Yan didn't take the heavenly coffin at all. Clang! A loud sound made Zhu Yan turn his head. He saw the Tai Baokai use the power of the Origin Sutra to slam the giant bronze door shut. Tai Baokai was shocked. Zhu Yan's condition was very bad, and it made all the hair on its body stand up. It retreated like a big hedgehog. It grinned and comforted it. "Little swallow, don't be angry. Don't be angry. It's not good for your body." Zhu Yan roared towards the sky. The divine light around his body swept out in all directions, almost shattering the area. "I'm going to kill you." Zhu Yan's killing intent surged. His aura of resentment soared to the sky. He controlled the bronze chariot and chased after Su Yen. Little swallow, wear flowery clothes. Come here every spring, come here. Tai Baokai wore a red do. Its body glowed as it sang excitedly. When its voice spread out, Zu Yen was driven mad. The bronze chariot almost fell to the ground. He came every year, but he couldn't open the giant bronze door and see the heavenly coffin. Without Su Yen, he wouldn't be able to obtain the great creation inside. Zu Yan's training hall was in chaos. Su Yen rushed out from inside. The anti-flight formation couldn't stop him at all. With Su Yan's mastery of the occult arts, he could easily break through the anti-flight formation. The moment Su Yen charged out, Zu Yan's fury, which could burn mountains and boil seas, also surged out. Stop him! Stop him! There were at least dozens of demon kings in the training hall. There were also 2 demon kings who had opened the Tao Gate realm. After receiving Zu Yan's order, they rushed forward to stop Su Yen. Buzz! Su Yan's body glowed. His entire body seemed to have disappeared without a trace. The next moment, when he appeared again, the earth vein qi in the sky was boiling. Su Yen merged with the earth vein qi. He jumped through space and forced his way to the area of the lesser 5 elements formation. Su Yen took out another formation plate. He suppressed the power of the lesser 5 elements formation and rushed out. A bunch of trash! Zu Yen rushed out furiously. He calmed down a little. How could Su Yen escape from him? He said in a cold voice, "I'll kill you even if I have to slaughter the entire Huaxia alliance." The lesser 5 elements formation collapsed under Zu Yan's anger. The bronze chariot was too terrifying. It drove into the void and chased after Su Yen. Boom! The undulating mountain range shook and was about to be crushed by the bronze chariot. At this moment, a large number of cultivators had rushed here. When they saw the tide-like qi of heaven and earth in this area, they were all dumbfounded. They didn't know that there was such an amazing land of treasure on earth. So it's like this. We really found it. Xia Zhe recognized this place. This was the location where they wanted to build Huaxia University. However, Zu Yen forcibly occupied it. He didn't expect this place to have become so amazing. It nurtured divine essence, and could help people speed up their cultivation. It's Su Yen. The whole place was in an uproar. They were surprised to see Su Yen rush out. Why was Su Yen here? Give me your life! The bronze chariot's terrifying power was like 100,000 mountains lined up. It rumbled and penetrated the area where Su Yen was. The area suddenly collapsed and a large crack spread far and wide. At this moment, Su Yen felt like his body and soul were about to be destroyed. His whole body was about to collapse. He was shocked. The Dharma armament was too powerful. It wasn't something he could block. Buzz! The purple inner armor on Su Yan's body awakened and blocked the Dharma armament's power. Breakthrough begin. Su Yen stepped on the wilderness. His clothes flapped loudly. He communicated with the qi of the earth and changed his position. He leaped in the territory. At the same time, streams of qi of essence poured out from the natal cauldron. When tens of thousands of streams of qi of essence rushed out, they penetrated Su Yan's body and densely covered his limbs and bones. Clang! Clang! Su Yan's body transmitted the sound of forging iron. Under the impact of the power of so many original essence stones, Su Yan's body shackles clanged. He was about to step into the Tao Gate realm. Thousands of original essence stones were all absorbed by Su Yen. Now he needed strength and foundation. Only in this way could he step into the Tao Gate realm and have the power to fight with Zu Yen. Ha ha ha, little Su Yen wants to build an arena? It's ridiculous. Who's strong and who's weak can be seen at a glance. Look at Su Yen. What's the use of running? If you tell the truth now, you can avoid death. Stop Su Yen. I propose to catch him and take him to Huaxia City. Let him stand on the arena built by him and fight with Zu Yen. A large number of people of the young and strong faction also rushed over. When they noticed that Su Yan was being chased by Zhu Yan, they all laughed. If Su Yan didn't master the qi of earth veins, Zhu Yan could catch up with Su Yan easily. Su Yan, you sinner, stop! It was like a golden lion leaping up from the end of the horizon. His whole body radiated light and suppressed the world. You still want to run? You want to build an arena to fight with Zhu Yan, the god of war? Where's your courage? Ding Jun stood in front of Su Yan. The Tao gate in his body opened and activated the power of the rules of heaven and earth. Ding Jun looked down at Su Yan and said coldly, "It's too late to admit defeat now. Let me catch you and hand you over to God of War Zhu Yan." He stretched out his palm. His whole aura gushed out and suppressed this area. "Old man, how dare you block my way?" Su Yan's eyes were full of killing intent. At this moment, he was no longer calm. His whole body was like a giant golden furnace burning. When the aura of the natal cauldron and Su Yan intertwined, the sky was about to be torn apart. Bang! Su Yan's whole body was full of soaring aura. In an instant, he opened the seal of the rules of heaven and earth. The horrible aura in his body ran through the sky, like a big ancient star crashing down. Chapter 134. The ancient star in the sky was enough to collapse the heavens. Su Yan's entire body shone with a golden light as his blood essence surged endlessly. He was filled with an extremely domineering aura, and the ancient star's vigorous power began to awaken in this area. The spectators were shocked. At this moment, Su Yan was too powerful. He was like a small true dragon soaring into the sky, illuminating the heavens and earth. His limbs and bones surged with a shocking aura. The moment his tool-building realm battle prowess reached the peak, there was a tendency to shatter Tao gates. Boom! A loud explosion rang out. Su Yan's entire fist released a cloud-shattering light beam. The moment it struck, it emitted an army-shattering power. Countless ripples of light shaking realm divine might enveloped Ding Jun, who was charging towards him. Ding Jun's expression changed greatly, and a trace of fear flashed through his eyes. He had a tendency to shatter along with Su Yan's fist. Even if he had opened a profound Tao gate, the Tao gate he opened released laws that were actually destroyed by Su Yan's fist. Not good. Ding Jun quickly took out his treasure. This was a small earthen yellow seal that floated in the void. The moment Ding Jun took it out, this earthen yellow seal shone brightly and emitted a ferocious aura. A golden lion appeared. This was Ding Jun's treasure, the lion roar seal. Once it awakened, the golden lion would roar towards the sky, wanting to tear apart a strong enemy. Heavens! The surrounding people were scared half to death. At this moment, Su Yan was too domineering. His aura could swallow rivers and mountains, and he was unstoppable. His entire body emitted an unparalleled might. When his life cauldron and his body became one, and the moment the origin scripture was activated, Su Yan's fist aura reached a new level. Rumble! This fist struck. Under Su Yan's fist, the golden lion illusion completely collapsed, exploding into pieces. Just how tyrannical and terrifying was this? Firstly, Su Yan's physical body was strong enough. Secondly, his life cauldron was too strong. Under the state of life cauldron and life cauldron, Su Yan had the confidence to kill weaker Tao gates. Pooh! Ding Jun spat out a mouthful of blood. This was the power of the light-shaking fist. 10,000 streaks of golden light shot out, carrying with it the power to destroy armies. Ding Jun's body trembled violently, and his hair was disheveled as he fell heavily to the ground. Hiss! The surrounding people sucked in a breath of cold air. This scene was too shocking. Ding Jun, who was in the Tao Gate realm, was actually severely injured by Su Yan with a single punch. What kind of shocking combat strength was this? Give me your life! And at this moment, the vacuum behind Su Yan collapsed. The power radiating from the bronze war chariot spread outwards. It was as if Mount Tai was pressing down on him, and Su Yan nearly collapsed on the field. Die! Su Yan roared into the sky. He revived his life cauldron and took out his golden iron rod. He triggered the chi of the earth veins and broke through the bronze chariot's blockade. He pounced forward and grabbed Ding Jun. "What are you doing?" Ding Jun was terrified. Could it be that Su Yan still wanted to kill him? "I'll send you to hell," Su Yan sneered. He threw Ding Jun into the bronze chariot's energy ripples as if he was throwing trash. "No, Zu Yan, stop! Stop!" Ding Jun screamed in fear. It was difficult for him to break free. The bronze chariot was a Dharma armament, and the source of its power had already covered Ding Jun. He was terrified and couldn't avoid the power of the bronze chariot. "Trash, get out of my way!" Zu Yan was enraged. He drove the bronze chariot forward, and under the trembling eyes of the crowd, Ding Jun was blasted into a pile of meat paste. "God of War Zu Yan, kill Ding Jun!" The onlookers felt their scalps tingle as they screamed. Ding Jun was one of the top 10 experts, but Zu Yan had crushed him to death. Moreover, Ding Jun had been speaking up for God of War Zu Yan. This made them shudder. Zu Yan was too ruthless. Rumble! The bronze chariot was even more terrifying. This chariot filled the heavens and the earth. It was huge and boundless, like a bronze mountain. Under Zu Yan's control, an earth-shattering energy source rushed towards Su Yan. Dozens of miles away, Su Yan could feel the apocalyptic aura pressing down on him, suffocating him. It was so unbearable that he almost coughed out a mouthful of blood. "Wang!" Su Yan let out a deep roar. His body had already begun to strengthen. Countless origin essence stones turned into energy, breaking through a portion of the shackles. He was on the verge of breaking through to the Tao Gate realm. "I need time." Su Yan's eyes widened in anger. Once the bronze chariot hit him, Su Yan would die without a doubt. Rumble! The ground in a radius of dozens of miles undulated. Su Yan's aura penetrated the entire area. His footsteps produced resplendent patterns that scattered array mark. For a moment, the energy of the earth veins rumbled. "Rise for me!" Su Yan roared. His strange arts were activated, and the energy of the earth veins soared into the sky, faintly transforming into an earth dragon. The bronze chariot's power was immediately blocked. Su Yan took advantage of this time to madly rush forward. Moreover, he stimulated the energy of the earth veins to rush forward. His body was constantly glowing as he crazily tore through the bottleneck of his cultivation. He was beginning the most important awakening. Rumble! The area sank down as the energy of the earth veins dispersed. The bronze chariot was heavy and crushed dozens of miles of land. Large black cracks appeared in the earth. This scene caused one's hair to stand on end. Just how strong was this bronze chariot? "My good brother, didn't you want to fight me? What are you running for?" Zu Yan's eyes were cold. His body was suffused with a divine power that pierced through the bronze chariot. Wherever the chariot passed, the heavens and earth trembled. The sun and moon lost their light. Layers of earth veins were shattered by him. Nothing could stop Zu Yan's movement. Everything was destroyed in a single moment. "Zu Yan, it's not time yet. Why are you in such a hurry?" Su Yan turned around and sneered. "I've said it before. 1 year later, you won't keep your promise." "You, Zu Yan, still have the face to say that?" Su Yan's words immediately caused the people from the young and strong faction to be enraged. What did Su Yan mean? Give him a few more years and he would be able to fight Zu Yan. "Su Yan, I advise you to stop struggling and surrender. You won't be able to stop war god Zu Yan." A young expert roared. "You're wasting time. You're wasting your life. You bunch of blind fools, you're still speaking up for Zu Yan." Su Yan laughed angrily. "I advise you to go to Zu Yan's lair and take a look. See if your clansmen are enjoying life or suffering there." Su Yan's words spread far and wide. Some of the young men's expressions changed. What did Su Yan mean? Boom! Suddenly, the bronze chariot rumbled. Zu Yan's aura also blazed by a large margin. The 3 divine grade Tao gates in his body opened one after another. His divine essence penetrated the clouds and emitted a vast amount of law power. Suppress! Zhu Yan roared. The ground within 100 miles undulated. Countless law powers swooped down and affected the area. Everything seemed to be suppressed by Zhu Yan. Zhu Yan, I've told you. It's not time yet. Why are you in such a hurry? Su Yan was like a barbaric dragon. The natal cauldron was integrated with him at all times. Su Yan's aura penetrated the sky. He rushed forward and stepped on the ground. Su Yan's speed was too fast, leaving a trail of dust behind him. Su Yan kept changing his position with the help of the qi of earth veins. He admitted that Zhu Yan was powerful, but it was not so easy for Zhu Yan to catch up with him. This was a hunting battle. The bronze chariot chased Su Yan. Wherever it passed, the mountains and forests were in chaos. Some mountains even sank. Are they fighting? At this time, some cultivators who rushed out of Huaxia City saw the hunting battle on their way. They were stunned. Zhu Yan is too terrifying. She chased after Su Yan and attacked him. Su Yan is still arrogantly building a fighting platform. I don't know who gave him the courage. No, it's not time yet. Anyway, Zhu Yan is too powerful. Su Yan is no match for him. There were too many people who came. They looked up to watch the battle. Then, they were all frightened. The bronze chariot was like a giant chariot. The aura it emitted made a lot of cultivators explode into a mist of blood. This place became a purgatory on earth. Some unlucky cultivators with weak cultivation were crushed by the aura of the bronze chariot. Zhu Yan, how dare you? An old man roared and trembled with anger. Several of his clansmen were killed by the bronze chariot. This scene made the people around tremble. Was Zhu Yan crazy? In order to kill Su Yan, he did not care about the consequences. Get out of here! Zhu Yan's aura became more and more violent. Wearing the golden armor, he emitted a cold aura. He was like the Overlord of the Huaxia Alliance. This scene caused the survivors to be both shocked and angry. Just now, many people were shocked to death by Zhu Yan. The bloody scene made the onlookers shudder. Everywhere the bronze chariot passed, corpses were everywhere. Too many people had died. Go, go! Su Yan roared in anger. He did not expect Zhu Yan to do this. Was this guy really going to rebel? A bunch of trash. How dare you block my way? Kill without mercy! Zhu Yan said in a cruel voice. He had had enough. Su Yan had driven him crazy. This was a world where the strong were respected, but they had to abide by some rules. He, Zhu Yan, claimed to be the #1 expert on Earth. He was clearly the overlord of Earth. He felt that he needed to use iron and blood to rule the whole planet. Many people found it difficult to accept. Why would the revered Zhu Yan say such words? They were not talented enough, but the word trash was hard for them to accept. Zhu Yan, do you think of yourself as a local tyrant? Su Yan's eyes widened in anger. He leaped toward a mountain and shouted coldly, killing people on sight. I think you, Zhu Yan, are not from Earth. Tell me, are you an alien? Just a bunch of trash. If they die, they die. You are no exception. Zhu Yan replied cruelly. In the bronze chariot, the soul of a foot, wearing the purple cloud boots, appeared. This foot was like a giant mountain pressing down. It was filled with a terrifying aura. The moment it stepped down, an invincible aura spread out. Then you can be eliminated. Su Yan was furious. His whole body tore open layer after layer of shackles. Su Yan's aura pierced through the sky under the endless qi essence. Chapter 135. Alien. There were too many onlookers here. They were all running for their lives, afraid that Zhu Yan would go berserk and tear them apart. However, Su Yan's words caused them to feel fear in their hearts. Aliens? Zhu Yan was an alien? How was that possible? However, some of the older people were alarmed. Zhu Yan seemed to know a lot about the god and devil civilization. In particular, some of the youths felt their blood run cold. This speculation gave them goosebumps all over their bodies. Zhu Yan indeed knew a little too much about the matters of the cultivation world. Look! Someone turned back while running and saw an inconceivable scene. It caused the panicked crowd to turn back, and they were all stunned. Firstly, Zhu Yan's powerful kick did not place Su Yan in his eyes at all. The strength from the huge sole of his foot blasted the nearby fleeing people into a bloody mist. What kind of tyrannical kick was this? Even a tool-building realm expert was trampled to death. This kick was ruthlessly stomping down on Su Yan. But Su Yan had awakened. The entire mountain collapsed under the strength born from his body. Nearly 3,000 origin essence stones were turned into powder, forming a vast essence energy that penetrated Su Yan's limbs and bones, allowing him to successfully break through. Ah! Su Yan roared towards the sky. His hair danced in the wind. His body released billowing golden ripples that swept out in all directions. The mountain he stood on sank as rubble flew into the clouds. Following Su Yan's awakening strength, it began to tremble and shatter. Rumble! The ground in 100-mile radius shook, unable to withstand Su Yan's strength. His entire body turned into a golden furnace. It was covered with dense and resplendent law runes. It caused the world to rumble as laws poured down like a sea. At this moment, Su Yan was peerlessly powerful. His aura could swallow mountains and rivers. He had opened the Tao Gate realm's barrier and his body had stepped into the Tao Gate realm. His grasp of the laws of heaven and earth had reached a new level. Now, Su Yan's body was like a giant Tao Gate. It spewed out heaven and earth essence energy and gathered the power of laws. Kill! The foot that was about to stomp down on Su Yan was shaken by the power that erupted from Su Yan's body. Su Yan soared into the sky, his entire body releasing the aura of a king. Behind him, the roar of the primal chaos ocean could be faintly heard. Su Yan raised his fist and punched the sky, dominating the vault of heaven. The moment his fist was released, Su Yan's entire fist was covered with the power of laws. It interweaved into a blurry golden star that flowed with endless golden light. The surging power of supernatural powers that surged out attracted the stars in the sky. At this moment, Su Yan was terrifying and domineering. He raised his fist and punched the sky, smashing down on Zhu Yan's huge foot. Rumble! Just like that, there was a loud explosion. At the moment of their collision, energy ripples swept out in all directions. Some of the great mountains were shaken to the point of cracking. Countless ancient trees were toppled, and endless leaves flew about madly. The onlookers from all directions were sent flying. They could not withstand this kind of delay. Unbelievable! Lu Chengtian and the others were dumbfounded. They originally thought that Su Yan could barely fight with Zhu Yan. Who would have thought that Su Yan actually had such combat strength? The onlookers gasped. They saw that Su Yan's fist had shaken Zhu Yan's huge leg and caused a crack to appear on the purple cloud boot. It seemed like Su Yan's punch was going to penetrate it. Su Yan's body had entered the Tao Gate realm. He could unleash the power of his natal cauldron. The cauldron recited scriptures and the cauldron's mouth gushed with the power of the stars like tidal waves, causing the power of Su Yan's Big Dipper fist to skyrocket. Su Yan and the cauldron became one. His entire body was filled with a domineering aura. He met the attack with one punch after another. Every punch was heavy and ferocious, shattering the purple cloud boots. The crowd that had rushed over once again was dumbfounded. Su Yan was actually able to destroy a divine weapon. How abnormal was his physical body? Just how amazing was the artifact that he had forged? Bastard! Zhu Yan's eyes were about to pop out of their sockets. He gritted his teeth and roared. He almost spat out a mouthful of blood. Origin Essence Stone. If not for his Origin Essence Stone, how could Su Yan have broken through? He could naturally tell that Su Yen had broken through with his body. But what kind of heavenly art did Su Yen master? With the help of this scripture, Su Yen could definitely fight with him for a while. Even if you break through, you will still die. The moment Zhu Yan's voice faded, the bronze chariot rumbled. Under the shocked gazes of the crowd, the bronze chariot suddenly enlarged. It was like an ancient chariot that blotted out the sky and the sun. When it overturned, it had an aura that could shatter the sky and split the sea. Some people's hair stood on end. They were about to explode when the bronze chariot awakened. Rumble! The bronze chariot's power exceeded everyone's expectations. When it was driven by Zhu Yan, the bronze chariot suddenly shot out a beam of light, turning into an ancient chariot that blotted out the sky. It was a terrifying scene. Hundreds of miles of territory were sinking, about to be destroyed by the bronze chariot. Su Yen had goosebumps all over his body. Even someone as strong as him had a tendency to shatter, let alone others. This was a Dharma manifestation divine weapon. It was rumored that it could be big or small. Now that Zhu Yan had awakened the bronze chariot's power, when it exploded, everything would be destroyed. Clang! Just as everyone thought that Su Yen would be crushed into meat paste by the bronze chariot, the sound of a sword rang out. Between heaven and earth, the divine sound of a killing sword leaving its sheath reverberated. It was as if a weapon training pool was refining a heavenly weapon. Rays of sword light that pierced through the heavens exploded, illuminating hundreds of miles of territory that was about to collapse. At this moment, the onlookers felt as if their heads were about to fall to the ground. That peerless aura of sharpness swept out in all directions. Unsheath. Someone saw Su Yen soar into the sky, his hair dancing wildly. He faced the attack with 9 sword embryos on his back. These 9 bronze killing swords were carved with the image of a real dragon. They were like 9 treasured swords. When they were unsheathed, they exploded with sword light. Every ray of sword light was shockingly thick. The 9 sword lights were shaped like dragons. When they were released, the bronze chariot's shadow that was pressing down was torn to pieces by the 9 dragon-shaped sword lights. Chi! These 9 bronze killing swords were shocking. They pierced through the clouds and fog, revolving around Su Yen. Under the guidance of Su Yan's divine power, the 9 great killing swords soared into the sky and attacked Zhu Yen. As the 9 great killing swords pierced through the air, they rapidly enlarged and became 9 giant swords. Ha ha, did you see that? This is this beast god's most precious treasure. The Tai Baokai was in the crowd, afraid that others would not know about its treasures. It grinned from ear to ear. No one had the time to pay attention to the Tai Baokai. They were all attracted by the battle. The 9 great killing swords closed in on Zhu Yan, and he felt like he was about to be killed. Suppress. Zhu Yan walked out of the bronze chariot and said coldly. The 3 divine grade Tao gates in his body opened, gushing out divine essence that penetrated the bronze chariot. The chariot enlarged again, and the wheels rumbled as it charged towards the 9 great killing swords. Dong! Su Yen pushed the 9 great killing swords, and Zhu Yan pushed the bronze chariot. Rumble! The 2 Dharma manifestation weapons collided here, shooting out destructive light that illuminated the sky. What surprised people was that the bronze chariot also had the ability to store things. There was a space inside, and this chariot emerged with a suction force that sucked away the 9 great killing swords. Not good, Su Yen, be careful! Someone screamed. These were the 9 great killing swords, and they were snatched away by Zhu Yan just like that? The Tai Baokai sneered. Zhu Yan was strong, but how could he suppress the 9 great killing swords? At most, he could suppress them for a while, but at the same time, the bronze chariot could not be used. The Tai Baokai felt that Su Yen had passed the most powerful trial. Even if he was at a disadvantage, he still had the strength to fight Zhu Yan. The bronze chariot rumbled, but it was difficult to suppress the 9 great killing swords. Let's see how you fight me without any treasures. Zhu Yan's cruel eyes looked down at Su Yan and said coldly, "You escaped that year. This time, I will kill your soul." 1. Zhu Yan swooped down, carrying with him the essence, energy, and spirit to kill Su Yan. The 3 divine-grade Taoist gates revolved in his life spring. At this moment, Zhu Yan was too powerful. He was clad in golden armor and wore a purple-gold crown on his head. He was like a bolt of purple lightning striking at Su Yan. Even the sky was split open. The purple divine radiance covered the sky and the sun. The Taoist gates sprinkled down a misty divine energy, which could easily split mountains and break waves, suppressing powerful enemies. It was suffocating. These were divine-grade Taoist gates, a total of 3 divine-grade Taoist gates. Zhu Yan's battle prowess was extremely shocking. He was like a purple sun rushing down. "Zhu Yan, you better wake up. This is not your territory." Su Yan's eyes widened. His entire body emitted a golden glow. He became one with his weapon. His palms formed a fist seal, and the wavering light fist exploded, bombarding the swooping Zhu Yan. "Kiki Su Yan, you are not qualified to fight with me. You will die peacefully," Zhu Yan said cruelly, still looking down at Su Yan. In an instant 2 super-powerful energy storms collided. One had the power of the sea, while the other had the power of the Tao of strength. The moment they fought, the sky collapsed and the earth sank. The sun and moon lost their light. The power released by each other collided here, releasing the sound of the collision of the 9 heavens. Everyone could clearly see that Su Yan was suppressed. The 3 divine-grade Taoist gates were too domineering. They immediately enveloped Su Yan, wanting to suppress him. "You are the one who will die peacefully." The source of power gushing out of Su Yan's body became more and more astonishing. Just as Zhu Yan's second punch came, Su Yan let out a wild roar. His entire body turned into a golden furnace, and his vitality rose from the ground in a flourishing state. Boom! Someone saw a sun burning here. When the power of the sun opening fist was circulated by Su Yan, his body was like a star, swallowing rivers and mountains, looking down on the heavens. What a terrifying battle! Rumbling sounds could be heard from hundreds of miles away. What an unbelievable battle this was! The purple sun and the golden sun collided here, and the sky was filled with surging divine light. They collided here, and the clouds in all directions had already collapsed. There were countless large cracks. Kill! Su Yan's hair danced wildly, and his roar shook the mountains and rivers. The golden god of war he transformed into formed a fist seal. The aura in his body was like a waterfall, and blurry stars came out one after another, erupting with the most powerful combat strength. Chapter 136. The mountains trembled and the sun and moon lost their light. Deafening explosions tore through the sky one after another. The tremors caused the surrounding people's chi and blood to roil. They almost fell to the ground. "Retreat! Get away from here!" Some people screamed in fear and ran away faster than a rabbit. That was because the moment they collided, the energy ripples were enough to destroy everything. Su Yan's fist and Zhu Yan's palm collided. Waves of energy ripples swept through the vast mountain forest. For a moment, the area where they were fighting became a no-man's land. Not even a blade of grass grew and large cracks could be seen everywhere. How can Su Yan be so strong? The young men felt their hair stand on end. Their hearts were filled with disbelief. Su Yan was actually fighting head-on with the war god Zhu Yan. This had overturned their thinking. Buzz! Each of Zhu Yan's palms had the power to blot out the sun. Wave after wave, each palm was filled with purple light as it struck towards Su Yan. Su Yan's fist was like the sun. It was suffused with the power to destroy armies. His body was like an ancient star. He had borrowed Zhu Yan's strength and his body was unshakable. This scene alarmed all the spectators. The great shame and humiliation in Zhu Yan's heart reverberated. He let out an angry roar as his battle strength increased. His palms became resplendent, and when they chopped down, they could crush mountains. Come! Su Yen looked up to the sky and laughed. His blood essence was boiling. His flesh was like a piece of divine iron, emitting an aura of invincibility. This was a great battle at the pinnacle. The two powerhouses clashed, and every move they made shook the heavens and the earth. Every move they made was a killing move. Rumble! The surrounding people saw that Zhu Yan was becoming more and more tyrannical. His whole body was surging with purple energy. The sound of scriptures was transmitted from his body. His body released a shocking divine charm. Every move he made exuded the divine might of a king. This was the power of the king physique at work. This kind of physique was born with astonishing battle strength. Not to mention, Zhu Yan had opened a divine-grade Dao gate. His combat power soared to the extreme. For a moment, purple gas filled the sky and pressed down on Su Yan. Suffocating fluctuations filled the air as they swept down from all directions, as if they had turned into a purple furnace. What a terrifying ability! The onlookers could feel how terrifying the purple furnace was. Their qi and blood were about to dry up. The vacuum they had been refining had turned into a huge black hole that directly pressed down on Su Yan. Humph! Su Yan remained motionless. He stood tall between the heavens and earth, his entire body radiating a golden radiance. Under the state of one with the weapon, the power of the sun-opening fist became even more tyrannical. Su Yan could be said to be an immovable cauldron that sat between the heavens and earth. The cauldron even began to awaken on its own, gushing with starlight. It was as if the Milky Way was flowing out and running through Su Yan's four limbs. At this moment, Su Yan was like a heavy weapon. Along with Su Yan's eruption, each and every move was filled with power that reached the heavens and earth. They struck the purple furnace until it trembled. Zhu Yan was furious. This was originally his astral body, but now it had been taken by Su Yan. Boom! The battle became even more intense. Su Yan charged forward. The moment the beginning sutra was activated, his body seemed to communicate with the power of heaven and earth. For a moment, his combat power rose sharply. He raised his fist and attacked with the wavering light fist, cracking a corner of the purple furnace. Zhu Yan's eyes turned red. Su Yan clearly only had an ordinary physique, so how could he erupt with the power of a king physique? Two king physiques fought here. Divine light rushed into the heavens, shocking everyone. Under normal circumstances, a king physique could suppress an ordinary physique. One of Zhu Yan's trump cards had been crippled. Could this legendary Mother Sutra really be so heaven-defying? He didn't even dare to think about it. Once he obtained the Mother Sutra, it might allow his physique to continuously evolve and even evolve into a supreme physique. Inconceivable! Some people trembled in fear as they saw Zhu Yan's fist dripping with blood. Su Yan's body is too terrifying. Zhu Yan opened a divine-grade Dao gate, but in close combat, he couldn't block the power of Su Yan's body. Don't forget that Zhu Yan has a king physique. Some people were scared. Just how tyrannical did one's body need to be? If that's all you have, then surrender. Su Yan's eyes were filled with a shocking killing intent. His life cauldron was extremely strong. When combined with Su Yan's body, his body could be said to be made of divine iron. He was beating Zhu Yan until he was about to collapse. I have my own methods to kill you. Zhu Yan was furious. At this moment, the blood in his body roared on its own. His entire body was filled with a terrifying aura, as if a god had drilled out of his body. He has divine blood in his body. Tai Baokai was shocked. Be careful, don't fight him head-on. This was the power of the bloodline, and it was extremely terrifying. Zhu Yan seemed to have turned into a purple god at this time. The moment the bloodline in his body burned, the onlookers trembled and felt as if they were about to kneel on the ground and kowtow. Zhu Yan's aura rose sharply. The ancient divine blood in his body was circulating, and it was filled with a terrifying divine substance. At this moment, Su Yan's body was about to explode. He was aghast. How could this bloodline be so terrifying? Tai Baokai was anxious. Zhu Yan was forced into a corner. Otherwise, he wouldn't have used the divine blood. After all, Zhu Yan hadn't cultivated to a high level. Once the divine blood was used, it would consume some of its divinity. In the future, it would be of little help to Zhu Yan. Boom! With the help of the divine blood, Zhu Yan's palm strike almost shattered Su Yan's fist. Su Yan was forced to take a few steps back. Zhu Yan's aura was extremely powerful. He was like a purple god. At the moment he swooped down, the divine blood in his body circulated and shone on Su Yan's body. This divine force contained an astonishing power that could lock down a strong enemy. It originated from the suppression of the bloodline. Su Yan clenched his fist. At this moment, his bloodline was boiling. Suppressed by Zhu Yan's divine blood, he erupted with a monstrous fury. His bloodline was like a roaring golden ocean that wanted to shatter the heavens. Scram! Su Yan let out a furious roar. He was like an angry war god. The bloodline in his body was boiling, and a blurry golden ocean was activated. It was filled with an aura that could slaughter gods and destroy immortals. Ah! Zhu Yan coughed out a mouthful of blood. The divine blood in his body seemed to have evaporated, and his aura weakened by a lot. Impossible! Zhu Yan was horrified. How could Su Yan's bloodline be so strong? Tai Baokai was also stunned. How could Su Yan's bloodline suppress the divine blood? What level was his bloodline at? The surrounding people were also stunned. Zhu Yan originally had the upper hand, but now he was facing the backlash of his own bloodline. Bam! Su Yan took advantage of the situation and rushed forward. He raised his fist and punched at Zhu Yan. I really want to capture you alive more and more. Zhu Yan didn't feel defeated at all. He wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. His eyes flashed coldly as he looked at Su Yan, who was getting closer and closer. The divine blood in his body was awakened again. However, this time, the divine blood in his body started to gather towards the life spring. The 3 divine grade Tao gates were also burned to the extreme. The divine power contained in the Tao gates was released and penetrated into the life spring. At this moment, Zhu Yan's body was rippling with an unparalleled aura. The moment a seal containing a monstrous amount of divine essence appeared, it instantly woke up. Boom! Zhu Yan's life seal, which was made from divine materials, floated in the air. This seal was a lot more terrifying than before. It was like a huge mountain floating in the air. On the seal, countless law patterns flashed. How is this possible? The surrounding people were stunned. Their brains almost short-circuited. The seal shone brightly and covered the sky. This was the seal and Zhu Yan becoming one. At this moment, the sky shook and the earth shook. Everything exploded with the seal. Oh no! Su Yan's expression changed. He heard Zhu Yan's chanting voice. It was as if an ancient god was chanting scriptures. Great mystique, heaven-flipping seal. Every syllable was majestic and extraordinary. It was as if an earth-shattering vision had appeared in the sky. Su Yan's hair stood on end. Zhu Yan had mastered a great mystique and even the heaven-flipping seal. Su Yan, watch out! The fat man was terrified. This was a legendary great mystique. There wasn't even one in the entire Huaxia alliance. Who would have thought that Zhu Yan had mastered a great mystique? Once this great mystique was activated, he would be invincible in the same realm. Moreover, Zhu Yan's combat power was higher than Su Yan's. Suppress. The seal flew across the sky and suddenly fell in an invincible manner. At this moment, everyone was suffocating. Some people could vaguely see hundreds of thousands of mountains pressing down on Su Yan. Big Dipper Fist. Su Yan used 2 lesser mystiques in succession. He used Mizar to protect his body and Radiant Light to protect his body. He was like a blurry star, facing the heaven-flipping seal with his strongest form. However, the flipping sky seal was too terrifying. When it came crashing down, the ground in all directions caved in. Even the mountains in the distance collapsed on their own. The aura of the flipping sky seal swept out, causing all the spectators to fall to the ground and tremble. In an instant, the heaven-flipping seal suppressed everything within a radius of dozens of miles. Ah! Su Yen roared. His entire body was distorted. The heaven-flipping seal was pressing down on his body, making him feel as if he had been struck by lightning. His internal organs were about to shatter. This was the terrifying part of a great mystique. If Su Yen didn't have the natal cauldron to protect his body, he would have been crushed in one blow. Kiki! Zhu Yan's sinister voice sounded. He walked out of the heaven-flipping seal and looked at Su Yen, who was being suppressed. He laughed proudly. Su Yen is Su Yen. You still fell into my hands. Ha 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 ha. Have mercy. A furious voice came from afar. Xia Zhe and the rest had rushed over. They had just broken into Zhu Yan's lair and seen many things. Their eyes were bloodshot. Who would have thought that Zhu Yan had been in contact with the beast? Kiki. Zhu Yan looked back at Xia Zhe and the rest. He smiled coldly and took out a storage bag. He wanted to put Su Yen inside. He would use the cruelest means to make Su Yen tell him everything he knew. Chance. Seeing Zhu Yan open the storage bag, Su Yen trembled. He had sensed the aura of the Tower of Trials. Originally, Su Yen wanted to use the qi of the earth veins to forcefully open the heaven-flipping seal. This way, he would have a chance to fight for his life. Su Yan's laughter gave Zhu Yan an ominous premonition. Smash him to death. Chapter 137. SSS. Those who had rushed over were all in awe, especially the youths. They were in disbelief. The Tower of Trials was clearly a treasure that Zhu Yan had taken from Huaxia University. How could Su Yen control the Tower of Trials? Back when Zhu Yan had taken the training grounds, he had studied it for a period of time. Unfortunately, he couldn't refine the imprint in the Tower of Trials, so this matter had been put on hold. But who would have thought that Su Yen could control the Tower of Trials? Boom! His storage pouch burst open and countless treasures tumbled out. There were all kinds of treasures here. So many treasures. They're blinding this beast god's eyes. Tai Baokai pounced forward excitedly. But before he could get close to the treasures, the Tower of Trials had already awakened. Boom! The 10-story Tower of Trials exuded a heaven-piercing power. It was surrounded by a beam of light that shot into the sky. This tower was blazing terrifyingly. The body of the tower was comparable to an ancient mountain, and it vaguely reached into the sky. This treasure tower was dazzling with silver light. It was surrounded by a beam of divinity, and its aura pierced through the sky. The majestic tower was about to burst the void. Thousands of beams of divine light rained down, one after another. It was like the waves of the 9 heavens. Damn, this is a precious treasure. Who would be so wasteful as to use so many divine materials to refine this treasure tower? Tai Baotsai's eyes turned red. The power of this Tower of Trials was extremely shocking. It was completely refined from divine materials and contained a terrifying amount of divinity. Generally speaking, Dharma idol weapons could change in size because they were mixed with a small amount of divine materials. But this Tower of Trials had a total of 10 stories. How many divine materials did it require? B*****. Zhu Yan's eyes widened in anger. He had even used the flipping sky seal. Even if he couldn't suppress Su Yen, Zhu Yan wouldn't be defeated. But now that things had taken a turn for the worse, Zhu Yan felt like vomiting blood. He had worked so hard to obtain the Tower of Trials, but Xia Zhe had taken advantage of him. However, the Tower of Trials had always been Su Yan's treasure. Now it was being controlled by Su Yan to turn the tables. It's too difficult to revive it. Could it be that the quality of this Tower of Trials exceeds that of a Dharma armament? Su Yen staggered and almost fell. The divine power in his body had been depleted. This gave him goosebumps. The energy required to activate the training tower was too vast. Rumble! At this moment, everything within a radius of 1,000 miles was shaking. Countless mountains were disintegrating on their own, and mountain ranges were sinking down one after another. The countless onlookers were about to collapse under the aura of the Tower of Trials. This was a divine pagoda that was resplendent and overflowed into the heavens. Divine light poured down like a waterfall, and each pagoda had a silver door. When the 10 silver doors opened, they emitted an aura that suppressed the universe. Inside the doors sat 10 blurry and slender figures. Bamboo Moon! Su Yen panted heavily. Every level of the divine pagoda had a brand that transformed into a peerlessly beautiful figure that was as ethereal as an immortal. Their graceful bearing was peerless, and they caused the heaven and earth to rumble and the sun and moon to resonate. Su Yen understood now. The Tower of Trials was Bamboo Moon's natal treasure, just like Su Yan's natal cauldron. Why do I feel like the Tower of Trials is only unleashing 10 to 20% of its power? How strong is it, or how strong is Bamboo Moon? The Tower of Trials was already terrifying enough. As it sank, everything sank. Zu Yen, who was locked in place, the golden armor on his body shattered layer by layer. Even he was about to turn into a pile of ash. God of War Zu Yen. The people from the young strong faction were going crazy. Daozu was about to fall at the hands of Su Yen, at the hands of the creation he had stolen. Rumble! Zu Yen let out a wild roar. At this moment, his life springs lit up and spewed out layers of treasure light. This was a total of more than 10 secret treasures. They shot out like lightning and smashed towards the divine pagoda that was falling from the sky. A deafening explosion resounded through the heavens and the earth. This was an unprecedented collision. Under everyone's astonished gazes, more than 10 secret treasures exploded one after another as the Tower of Trials fell. Many people felt their hearts ache. More than 10 secret treasures were destroyed just like that. However, these secret treasures gave Zu Yen a certain amount of time to escape. He recovered to the extreme and charged forward, escaping the suppression of the Tower of Trials. Ah! When the Tower of Trials fell, a huge black crack appeared in the area. It was as if a huge canyon had collapsed. There were also screams that could be heard. It was a horrifying sight. What? Su Yen was shocked. Zu Yen had actually escaped, but one of his legs had been crushed into meat paste. Rumble! The bronze chariot came back to life and spat out the 9 swords. Then, it sucked Zu Yen into the chariot and carried him away quickly. Where do you think you're going? Su Yen stored the Tower of Trials into the Phoenix hairpin. He activated the Qi of the earth and summoned the 9 bronze swords. He chased after Zu Yen. If he could not kill Zu Yen this time, the consequences would be unimaginable. Su Yen, you're treacherous. You dared to kill Zu Yen and even set him up? A large group of people from the young strong faction rushed out to stop Su Yen and buy time for Zu Yen. Get out of my way. Su Yen did not make a move. Xia Zhe was furious. He summoned the heaven-stabilizing bell. Suddenly, the heaven-stabilizing bell rumbled and shook. Golden ripples spread out in all directions, forcing a bloody path out. Some people's ears were ringing. They did not know if it was because of the heaven-stabilizing bell or because they were frightened by Xia Zhe's cruelty. What was he trying to do? Xia Zhe! Some people from the young strong faction were terrified. Xia Zhe had started a massacre. Was he going to kill Zu Yen? Whoever dares to help Zu Yen will be killed without mercy. Xia Zhe's cold voice rumbled in the sky. I've already investigated. Zu Yen has betrayed the Huaxia alliance long ago. The evidence is conclusive. I swear with my life that if I have wronged Zu Yen, I will kill myself to atone for my sins. The entire wilderness was in an uproar. A year ago it was the Shura. Now it was Zu Yen. Xia Zhe wants to kill Zhu Yan. He wants to be the emperor of the Huaxia alliance. Don't be fooled. Xia Zhe and Su Yan are greedy wolves. They want to control the Huaxia alliance. Don't be fooled. That's right. Once Zhu Yan falls, you, Xia Zhe, will be able to do whatever you want. Zhu Yan, the god of war, will never fall. He is the leader of the Huaxia alliance. The young strong faction was furious. They stood out to criticize Xia Zhe. A large group of experts also rushed forward to watch the battle. Xia Zhe was too lazy to talk to them. He was also chasing after Zhu Yan. Zhu Yan, you won't be able to escape. Surrender. Su Yan's body glowed as he absorbed the energy from the source stones to replenish his energy. He had used up all the divine power in his body to summon the Tower of Trials. This treasure could not be used carelessly. Layers of earth energy emerged. Su Yan stepped on the earth energy and rushed forward. He summoned the 9 bronze swords and chased after the bronze chariot. Zhu Yan sat cross-legged in the blood-stained chariot. His face was cold as he laughed sinisterly. You ants, I will make you regret this. You want to convict me? In this world, only I, Zhu Yan, can convict others. Boom. The bronze chariot rumbled as it charged toward the 9th base at an extremely fast speed. Xia Zhe said that Zhu Yan had betrayed the Huaxia alliance long ago. I don't believe it at all. Yeah, why would war god Zhu Yan betray the Huaxia alliance? If it weren't for him, the Huaxia alliance wouldn't have had so many decades of peace. Look, war god Xia Zhe is here. Many residents of Base 9 stared at the wasteland, watching the bronze chariot charge toward the base. They had mixed feelings. They all admired Zhu Yan, but Su Yan was the #1 person in the first base. They were proud of that. But no matter what, war god Zhu Yan's contributions to the Huaxia alliance were witnessed by all of them. Kill all of you. Don't let Su Yan enter the 9th base. If it weren't for the Tower of Trials, war god Zhu Yan wouldn't have lost. A large group of people from the young strong faction rushed out from the 9th base. They took out all kinds of weapons to protect war god Zhu Yan. Su Yan, don't let him in. Stop him. Tai Baotsai's roar gave Su Yan an ominous premonition. What was Zhu Yan trying to do by rushing towards the 9th base like a madman? Eject. The divine power in Su Yan's body had recovered quite a bit. The 9 bronze fatal swords struck at the speed of lightning. One after another, they shone brightly and emitted sword glows as they charged at Zhu Yan's bronze chariot. Rumble! The bronze chariot rumbled. Zhu Yan, who was sitting in the chariot with his legs crossed, looked like he was struck by lightning. He coughed up blood, but the bronze chariot's defense was amazing. It blocked the power of the 9 bronze fatal swords. Su Yan, you set Zhu Yan up. You deserve to die. Brothers, let's go. We can't let Su Yan succeed. War god Zhu Yan has contributed greatly to the Huaxia alliance. We must stop this crazy Su Yan. Kill. In the 9th base, many powerful cultivators were extremely angry. Their blood was boiling. Most of them were willing to sacrifice their lives for the Huaxia alliance. Now, they rushed out of the gate of the 9th base to protect Zhu Yan. Kiki, very good, very good. Seeing thousands of cultivators rushing out, Zhu Yan laughed. Now is the time for you to sacrifice your lives for me. Protect me and quell the rebellion. Rumble. The bronze chariot suddenly burst into flames. The chariot quickly enlarged and became a bronze mountain. It covered the sky and the sun. It flowed down with a ferocious power that could destroy all living things. The sky and the earth were silent. The bronze chariot covered 10 miles and smashed down, crushing the cultivators who rushed out of the city. Even the high walls were crushed by the chariot. The chariot's mouth glowed. Zhu Yan's face was ferocious. He looked up to the sky and roared. His mouth was filled with a monstrous devouring power. As he breathed in and out, countless blood essences were swallowed into his stomach. The blood essences of the fallen cultivators turned into a vast source of energy and gathered in Zhu Yan's body. At this moment, his weak aura skyrocketed. Sacrifice my people. Chapter 138. The blood-colored beast was extremely ferocious. The gigantic figure behind Zhu Yan blotted out the sky. When it opened its bloody mouth, even the moon in the sky turned a faint blood-red color. The sky seemed to have disappeared, swallowed by the blood-colored beast. Everyone was trembling in fear. First, the bronze chariot crushed countless cultivators to death. Then, they were swallowed by Zhu Yan. The moment Zhu Yan swallowed the essence blood of these dead cultivators, his weak aura became stronger rapidly. The essence blood even strengthened the weak divine blood in his body. He forced out the power of his bloodline ability and turned it into a beast that wanted to devour the sky. The Taotai bloodline has awakened the ability to devour. The Tai Baokai was furious. It knew how terrifying this bloodline was. Once it embarked on a vicious path, it would devour billions of lives as food. As for the adult Taotai, it would feed on the gods and demons in the sky. This was an extremely terrifying bloodline. Impossible. The young men who were chasing after her were almost scared to death. Was this still Zhu Yan? Was this still the god of war? He had sacrificed so many lives. The 9th base was covered in a bloody light. It was as if doomsday had arrived. The Taotai phantom moved again. When it swallowed, the entire 9th base almost exploded. A large number of lives were sucked into its bloody mouth and fell into its stomach. Sacrifice my people. Zhu Yan's temperament was sacred and solemn. He sat cross-legged in the bronze chariot, awakening the power of his divine blood to the extreme. He wanted to sacrifice millions of lives. Zhu Yan, you bastard, an old man shouted. His granddaughter had been swallowed into the bloody purgatory. Her eyes were filled with despair as she stared at her grandfather. The old man couldn't bear it and let out a heart-wrenching cry. Everything happened too quickly. The entire 9th base had become a purgatory. Some people found it hard to accept. Who would have thought that Zhu Yan would do such a thing? Now, Zhu Yan was blocking the gate, activating her Taotai bloodline and transforming into a ferocious beast. She was going to devour all the residents of the 9th base. Zhu Yan, stop. Xiaozhe summoned the heaven-stabilizing bell and rushed forward. He shouted, stop. The heaven-stabilizing bell struck, but the bronze chariot was already activated to the extreme. No matter how strong the heaven-stabilizing bell was, it was not a Dharma weapon. Instead, it was shaken by the bronze chariot. When Zhu Yan swallowed countless lives, his aura became even more terrifying. The blood essence of the Taotai bloodline was a great nourishment. The Taotai bloodline gathered human body medicine and gathered in his life spring. At this moment, Zhu Yan's life spring trembled violently. The 4th divine grade Tao gate was beginning to awaken. Originally, I was prepared to wait for you all to mature before harvesting. However, you all wanted to rebel, so I had no choice but to suppress you with iron and blood. Zhu Yan's cruel response enraged the cultivators of the Huaxia alliance. They were treated as spiritual medicine fields. When they were ripe, Zhu Yan would harvest them. We have to stop it. Although it won't be easy for Zhu Yan to swallow so many creatures, it will temporarily gain a lot of strength. Once Zhu Yan goes crazy and slaughters the strongest batch of the Huaxia alliance, the Huaxia alliance will not be able to rise again. The Tai Baokai was furious. Instead, it turned around and rushed toward Huaxia City. That was the sad thing about the newly awakened ancient life stars. Some ancient life stars would be ruled by the Huaxia alliance. The lucky ones would die, and the unlucky ones would be sold and become slaves for the rest of their lives. Rumble. Disaster befell the 9th base. Countless residents were swallowed by the Taoya's giant mouth and turned into food to nourish Zhu Yan's divine power. He was going to open the 4th gate. Who can kill this bastard? Zhu Yan is right. Zhu Yan must be an alien. He is an alien. He has been plotting against our Earth. Bastard, give me back my son! Some people roared. Some people were not afraid of death. They rushed over and wanted to stop Zhu Yan. But it was useless. Zhu Yan's current state was too strong. With the bronze chariot, the Taoya's bloodline was devouring the blood of the creatures and turning it into divine power nourishment to help him start to break through. Rumble! The 9 bronze swords slashed forward. Zhu Yan used all his strength. Although the bronze chariot was shaking, Zhu Yan was passively defending. The bronze chariot was suppressed by the bronze chariot. For a time, the bronze swords could not move the ancient chariot at all. Bastard, give me your life! The angry voice exploded. A bright light beam soared from the 9th base and penetrated the entire 9th base. It caused the rules of heaven and earth to roar. Yu Yiling's current battle strength was very strong. She opened a heavenly rank Dao gate and brought out a great killing weapon. She wanted to stop Zhu Yan's crazy actions. Oh! The Taoya's phantom let out a loud roar. The roar shattered the boundless space. A large number of residents were roared to pieces. Yu Yiling's aura was riddled with holes from the roar. This great killing weapon was forcefully suppressed by Zhu Yan's outstretched palm. The Taoya's giant mouth was extremely turbulent. Bloody light poured down like a waterfall. The moment it swallowed, the sun and moon lost their light. The heavens and earth shook. Yu Yiling felt a powerful attack coming at her. She found it hard to resist, and was swallowed by the suction force of the giant mouth. No. The entire Huaxia alliance trembled. This was Huaxia University's most outstanding proud daughter of heaven. She had already opened a heavenly rank Dao gate, but now she was swallowed by the Taoya's power. Rumble! At this critical juncture, Su Yan rushed over. His entire body rippled with overflowing golden light. His footsteps scattered countless formation scars that densely covered the entire 9th base. Rise for me! Su Yan roared towards the sky. His aura caused the laws of heaven and earth to rumble. His primordial spirit brought out the source pen. At this moment, Su Yan seemed to have become one with the entire 9th base. From this moment on, the earth vein energy of the 9th base rose from the ground. Thousands upon thousands of essence energy springs emerged layer by layer. They turned into a huge energy beam that sealed the entire 9th base. Su Yan, it's Su Yan! The residents of the 9th base were terrified. Seeing this scene, their blood boiled. They let out a heaven-shaking roar, Su Yan, it's Su Yan! At this moment, Su Yan seemed to have the ability to pierce through the heavens and earth. He erupted with the most powerful strange arts, stirring up the earth vein energy. This earth vein energy faintly turned into a giant dragon. It stabilized the crumbling 9th base and blocked the Taoya's power. Cold sweat broke out on Yu Yiling's back. Just a moment ago, she was almost eaten by Zhu Yan. Zhu Yan's expression was cold. He didn't expect Su Yan to have a hidden card. He didn't expect him to be in charge of the source pen. Boom! The bronze chariot rose from the ground. Zhu Yan didn't stop. He rushed towards Huaxia City like a bolt of lightning. Even the 4th gate in his body was faintly opened to the extreme. It was about to open. All of you have to die. A bunch of natives, none of you can live. Zhu Yan smiled cruelly. Once the 4th gate was opened, his battle strength would surge again. At that time, even if Su Yan controlled the dragon vein energy, it would be difficult to suppress him. Ong ong ong! Draconic chi filled the sky and surged along with Su Yan's anger. Su Yan pushed the earth vein chi of the entire 9th base and turned it into a giant dragon. It spat out 9 bronze killing swords and slashed at the bronze war chariot. Suppress! Su Yan roared and pushed the strongest power to continuously suppress the bronze chariot. However, no matter how fast Su Yan was, he couldn't be faster than the bronze chariot. It broke through the layers of vacuum and rushed to Huaxia City. This scene frightened Lu Qingtian and others. Once Zhu Yan rushed to Huaxia City, the consequences would be unimaginable. Huaxia City was full of elites of Huaxia Alliance. There were at least tens of millions of awakened cultivators. Once Zhu Yan swallowed some awakened cultivators, Zhu Yan's battle strength would certainly skyrocket. Maybe he would be promoted to the 5th heavenly layer of Tao Gate. Boom! It was at this moment that the roars of beasts could be heard from the mountains and valleys all around base number 9. An endless army of wild beasts was rushing towards the 9th base. This also included the Monster Kings and even the Monster Kings who had opened the Tao Gate. For a time, thousands of miles were trembling. Countless wild beasts were out of their cages and madly rushed to the 9th base. Bastard! Xia Zhe and others roared angrily. It must be Zhu Yan who launched the army of wild beasts to attack the 9th base to delay them. After all, Zhu Yan had a part of the bloodline of the mythical beast. All the Monster Kings respected him. Xia Zhe and others also knew that no matter how strong Zhu Yan was, they could definitely kill Zhu Yan as long as they joined hands. No matter how strong Zhu Yan was, he couldn't resist the tens of millions of soldiers of Huaxia Alliance. Zhu Yan, don't waste your energy. You can't catch up with me. When I recover, it will be the time of your death. If you dare to hide, the entire Huaxia Alliance will be destroyed. Zhu Yan's cold voice exploded between heaven and earth. His voice frightened everyone. Was Daozu going to sacrifice the entire Huaxia Alliance and billions of living creatures? Now all the soldiers in Huaxia City were on alert. However, Zhu Yan's ferocious qi was too horrible. The gate of Huaxia City was trembling. It seemed that it was going to collapse. Zhu Yan was furious. He wanted to use the training tower to fight, but the training tower was too powerful. It was difficult for him to control it. Zhu Yan, give me your life. Suddenly, an old lion rushed out of the gate of the 9th base, emitting a thunderous anger. It's Lei Lao. The residents of Huaxia City were shocked. Lei Lao not only rushed out, but also opened the heavenly grade Taoist gate. Thunder and lightning were rolling all over his body, and he took out a huge thunder hammer. At this moment, Lei Lao was extraordinary. He rushed out alone and rushed to Zhu Yan. Old man, you can't stop him. Go. Zhu Yan felt that there was still a chance. He could control part of the qi of Dragon Fountain in Huaxia City. He should be able to force away the obstruction and interrupt Zhu Yan's breakthrough. Zhu Yan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Lei Lao rushed out. He also sighed for the Lei Lao who was killed in those years. Ant-like thing, I'll sacrifice you alive. Zhu Yan awakened the Taotai bloodline again. A huge mouth was awakened behind him. The moment it opened its bloody maw, the world seemed to turn into a blood-red purgatory. Within its maw, there was an endless amount of resentment and hatred. This was the resentment and hatred left behind by the lives of those who had died. Devouring the qi of living creatures could indeed enhance Zhu Yan's strength. However, the more he devoured, the greater the danger he would encounter. Baokai, go, give him a big treasure. Unexpectedly, Lei Lao stopped and cursed in a low voice. He was not brave anymore. He would not be so stupid to die. Tai Baokai, who was on his back, suddenly climbed to Lei Lao's head and sat on it. It almost paralyzed Lei Lao and killed him on the ground. Tai Baokai was wearing a red bellyband. A treasure bowl covered on its head suddenly blazed. The inner space of the treasure bowl spat out a huge battleship. Huaxia No. 1. The soldiers in Huaxia City were excited. They recalled the difficult years of the Huaxia Alliance decades ago. When Huaxia No. 1 was dug out, it saved countless Huaxia people. It was the hero of the Huaxia Alliance. Let me give you a taste of the big move that I, Baokai, have prepared for you. Tai Baokai grinned. The door of the battleship was opened. The horrible stench drifted out, which almost made Lei Lao faint. Chapter 139. First of all, what made Zhu Yan's face turn black was the object that Tai Baokai took out. It was a stone tablet densely covered with mysterious patterns. Although it was only half the size of a palm, it contained the power of divinity. This was a secret treasure carved out of divine materials. When Tai Baokai used it, it actually sealed the world, and even Su Yen was sealed. Su Yen sensed a familiar aura from this stone tablet. He immediately understood that Tai Baokai had used this treasure to trick him. This treasure was so powerful that it could even suppress the bronze chariot. But unfortunately, the stone tablet disintegrated in an instant. Tai Baokai was very distressed. This was a kind of treasure which was equivalent to a kind of ore array disk. It could erupt with extremely strong power once, but it could only be used a limited number of times. This was the last time. However, Tai Baokai did not regret it. The energy of the stone tablet locked Taoye's huge mouth. When Huaxia No. 1 appeared, some soldiers were still reminiscing about their bitter history. But the next scene made their faces turn black. Huaxia No. 1 emitted a foul smell. Lei Lao wanted to kick Tai Baokai. Just before, Tai Baokai rushed to Huaxia University and wanted to use Huaxia No. 1. Lei Lao did not refuse, but who knew that Tai Baokai found a few large cesspools and used Huaxia No. 1 to transport them away. Lei Lao almost fainted from anger, but now that he saw Zhu Yan's miserable appearance, he felt relieved. "Eat shit," Lei Lao said with a black face. Many people who rushed with Su Yan were scared silly. All kinds of disgusting liquid rolled down from Huaxia No. 1 and into Taoye's bloody mouth. Other than this evil panda, who else could do such a thing? The students of Huaxia University had goosebumps all over their bodies. They thought that they would never provoke Tai Baokai in the future. The entire world quieted down. Everyone could feel the exploding flames of fury sweeping through the heavens and the earth. The bronze chariot was roaring and even began to tremble. Zhu Yan's whole body was distorted. He was so disgusted that he wanted to vomit, but he could not. Although it was said to be the power of the divine ability manifested from the bloodline and Zhu Yan did not eat it, he was still extremely disgusted. He wished he could chop Tai Baokai into 8 pieces and make him suffer until there was nothing left. "Look at how awesome you are. You are so awesome with the Taotai bloodline," Tai Baokai said disdainfully. "Taste." Zhu Yan's hair stood on end, his face distorted. He was furious to the extreme, releasing a heaven-devouring roar. Under this terrible anger, his 4th Taoist gate suddenly collapsed. When it was opened, the light was overwhelming, and the divine power all over his body was blazing. "Tai Baokai, I'm not done with you." Lei Lao was so angry that his face changed dramatically. Zhu Yan was so angry that he broke through the barrier and stepped into the 4th heaven of the Taoist gate realm. His combat power increased a lot. Tai Baokai did not say a word. He turned around and ran away as fast as he could. "You're all going to die. You're all going to die." Zhu Yan roared crazily. His eyes were red and bloodshot, and his hair stood up. Let him eat shit. Let him eat shit. He was going to slaughter the whole city. Boom! The land within hundreds of miles was shaking. Countless ancient trees exploded. His overturning aura broke out. The gate of Huaxia City was blown into pieces. His aura rushed into the city and made a street collapse. Boom! Just when Zhu Yan's killing intent was about to run through the whole Huaxia City, a golden body stood at the gate of Huaxia City. He was holding a golden iron rod and 9 big killing swords on his back. He was standing at the gate of the city. "Zhu Yan, I'll give you another chance. If you can step into the city, I, Su Yan, will let you kill me." The resolute voice exploded between heaven and earth and spread over the whole Huaxia City. "It's Su Yan." Tens of millions of residents in Huaxia City were excited. They recalled the words that Su Yan said here 1 year ago. Now, 1 year later, they confronted each other here again. "Su Yan, my good brother, I won't kill you. But I will peel off your skin and imprison your primordial spirit in the furnace for thousands of years. I will let you suffer all kinds of torture. In the periphery of Huaxia City, the divine light rushed to the sky and the purple qi filled the sky. Zhu Yan was standing in the bronze chariot. His whole divine aura ran through the sky. The 4 divine-grade Taoist gates were running around him, which made him powerful and horrible. Boom! A giant purple hand stretched out from the bronze chariot and covered dozens of miles. The purple hand was intertwined with the bright purple rules and was full of the divine aura. It was called the Hand of God. When it came down, it broke the city wall. Boom! Su Yan stepped on the sky. His clothes were fluttering in the wind. At this moment, the whole Huaxia city was roaring. Compared with the time when Su Yan operated the Qi of the Dragon Vein with the help of the dragon-controlling formation a year ago, the Qi of the Dragon Vein was much fiercer. Tens of millions of Qi of Dragon Vein in the whole Huaxia city were boiling with Su Yan. They turned into rolling dragon-shaped giant pillars and broke out with Su Yan. Boom! Su Yan shouted angrily and jumped into the sky. He turned into the center of the formation and guided the Qi of earth veins all over the sky to run through his body and into the natal cauldron. Suddenly, someone saw an ancient star rising into the sky and shining the sky, which was dazzling. God of War Su Yan. The soldiers from the 9th base were boiling with excitement. Boom! Under the starry sky, Su Yan was dazzling. He clenched his fists and smashed through the sky. When the Qi of earth veins all over the sky was boiling, the whole Huaxia city was undulating. As for the huge purple hand that covered the sky, it was shattered by Su Yan's fist. My good brother, you can't stop me. Even if you borrow the Qi of earth veins in the whole Huaxia city, or a part of the Qi of Dragon Vein. Zhu Yan regained his calmness and the power to control the overall situation. His breath was gradually horrible. The breath of the 4 divine-grade Taoist sects intertwined with each other. For a time, Zhu Yan's whole divine breath was overwhelming. He was like a god in the ancient times, exuding the power of a king. Another great divine power. The people in the field were horrified. Zhu Yan had mastered a great divine power, the flipping sky seal. Now he had stepped into the 4-fold heaven. The great divine power was more horrible. The power of rules all over the sky fell down and penetrated Zhu Yan. He turned into a king and looked down at the whole Huaxia city. Boom! His life seal has been awakened. With Zhu Yan's hand seals, one after another, the power of overturning the universe swept across the whole area. At this moment, Huaxia city seems to be turned over. The cultivators in the city are suffocating and depressed. Surrender! The heaven and the earth roared. The sun and the moon were dim. Zhu Yan seemed to turn into an ancient treasure. A terrible seal was born, covering the sky and the sun. The seal was flowing with the strongest and most domineering breath. The void was distorted and the whole Huaxia city was about to collapse. It was a suffocating scene. The flipping sky seal had concealed Su Yan. The bronze chariot was guarding Zhu Yan's body. His natal artifact evolved the flipping sky seal. When the seal fell down, the sky collapsed and the earth collapsed. Ghosts cried and gods howled. Everything collapsed with the flipping sky seal. Under this peerless pressure, Su Yan roared to the sky. His eyes were vertical. His whole body was flowing with the waves of stars. The natal cauldron was operated to the extreme. The power of the star river gushed out from the mouth of the cauldron and penetrated Su Yan's limbs and bones. His body turned into an ancient star, intertwined with the power of the brilliant light. The 2 great divine powers were combined. For a time, Su Yan's breath soared. Rumble! Even so, with Su Yan's fighting strength, it was difficult for him to block the flipping sky seal. In the end, it still pressed down. With a rumbling sound, it collapsed the sky. Just as it was about to touch Su Yan's head, Su Yan's aura became even more ferocious. He let out a furious roar that could shatter mountains and rivers. With his most powerful form, he once again performed a divine ability. Big Dipper Punch. Brilliant light Mizar Alioth. The three roars were deafening. The power of the star river poured out from his natal cauldron again, and penetrated his limbs and bones. Su Yan's body transmitted the sound of the stars crashing. His bones seemed to have turned into the bones of the sky, turned into the star river, and built the starry sky. Su Yan let out a long roar. His whole body was dazzling with golden light. When the three great divine powers were operated to the extreme, they were combined. At this moment, Su Yan's whole body soared with a wisp of air, penetrating the sky and causing the stars in the outer space to flash with light. At this moment, Su Yan seemed to have communicated with the eternal starry sky and the three super-ancient stars of the Big Dipper star area. His body was flowing with waves of horrible chi. His body seemed to have turned into a terrible star, which was full of the loud sound that could shatter the universe. Kill. The three fists combined into one and evolved the power of the Big Dipper punch. The terrible star collided with the flipping sky seal. The whole Huaxia city was shaking under these loud noises. The energy ripples of the collision swept across the universe and destroyed countless buildings. Under the fanatical gaze of the audience, the flipping sky seal was cracked by the collision, but the star body that Su Yan turned into almost exploded. Puff! Zhu Yan coughed up a mouthful of blood and almost rolled out of the bronze chariot. There was hatred in his eyes. The Big Dipper punch combined with three great divine powers was definitely not enough to shake the flipping sky seal. However, the natal cauldron refined by the star body was too powerful. It helped Su Yan to resist the most powerful attack. Otherwise, Su Yan would have been disintegrated by the flipping sky seal. Boom! Under the fanatical gazes of the surrounding people, Su Yan was like an enraged god of war. Cracks suddenly appeared on his body, but his bones were firm and unyielding. His aura surged once again. He stirred up the energy of the earth vein and a portion of the energy of the dragon vein. Boom! Su Yan rose from the ground, piercing through the clouds and mist. He was like a god soaring into the sky. Su Yan, can you kill me? Zhu Yan wiped the blood from the corners of his mouth. He laughed cruelly and said coldly, "You can't, my good brother. You can't stop me. Stubborn thing, I'll kill you, you bastard." Su Yan was bathed in blood. He swooped down and the 9 great killing swords on his back were awakened. They faintly vibrated with the power of a true dragon. "My good brother, you can't." Zhu Yan shook his head. He revived the bronze chariot and rammed into Su Yan, who was rushing towards him. "Get over here and accept your death." As he approached the bronze chariot, the 9 great killing swords on Su Yan's back were fully awakened. Su Yan channeled all his strength, including the earth vein energy in the city, into the 9 great killing swords. At this moment the sky darkened. It was as if an incomplete dragon body was slowly manifesting between heaven and earth. The 9 great killing swords lined up in the sky. They clanged and emitted an aura that could shatter the sky. The moment they came out, the killing swords burned to their limit. The dragon-shaped down marks on the swords were instantly awakened. Under the incredulous gazes of the audience, the 9 great killing swords were like 9 incomplete dragon bodies. When the 9 great killing swords combined together, they transformed into a true dragon sword embryo. It emitted a terrifying aura that caused the sky to tremble. Chapter 140. Su Yan was so tired that he almost fell to the ground. His face was pale, but there was a smile on his face. He had studied the 9 Dragons' sword and even asked the old Taoist about the operation of the 9 Dragons' sword. In the past, Tai Baokai had said that this was a domain-type divine weapon that could be combined together to release an extremely strong power. Su Yan knew that with his strength, it was impossible for him to combine the 9 Dragons' treasured sword. However, he did the opposite. He used the chi of the earth veins to evolve the layout of the 9 Dragons' sword and force the power of the 9 Dragons' sword out. The result was that he succeeded. The chi of the earth veins in the entire Huaxia city was absorbed by the Nine Dragons' sword. This domain magic weapon finally exerted the power it should have. Boom! The whole Huaxia alliance was shocked by the recovery of the sword embryo in Huaxia city. Countless residents couldn't open their eyes because of the dazzling sword radiance. My God, look at Huaxia city! The soldiers of the 9th base were engaged in a bloody battle to stop the advance of the beast army. But now, the 9 dragons' sword embryos in Huaxia city turned into a peerless killing sword when they were combined. It was like a giant dragon lying on the top of Huaxia city. It raised its head and roared. Thousands of thick sword radiance flowed around it, which contained the power of the Great Way. It was going to split the sky and cut down the stars in the universe. When the sword embryo came out, the moon fell from the sky and the sword chi was like the sea. This was an extremely horrible vision, but it was like a real picture, which made the area within thousands of miles ripple with the peerless sword intent. It's Su Yan! What a horrible weapon! Zhu Yan is doomed. Kill him, we must kill him. All the residents of the Huaxia Alliance were staring at Huaxia City. They looked at the recovery of the peerless sword embryo, which was like a dragon lying down. At this moment, Su Yan jumped up and held the peerless sword embryo with both of his hands. Kill! A roar exploded between heaven and earth. Su Yan's hair was dancing wildly. He raised the peerless sword embryo with both of his hands and chopped down. It split the sky, broke the clouds and tore the sky apart. Dao weapon! Zhu Yan's scalp went numb, and his heart was filled with fear. This was a Dao divine weapon that nurtured the power of Dao. Dao was above the rules, and once one comprehended Dao, he could be called a strong martial artist of the universe. It was extremely difficult to refine a Dao weapon. This sort of supreme treasure was considered a rare treasure even in the prosperous cultivation world of the universe. But now, the 9 dragon-treasured swords had fused into a peerless sword embryo that contained the power of the Tao. This type of power was unstoppable. It could crush all things, slice apart the heavens, and forcefully kill great enemies. Rumble! Terrifying fissures spread out, and the dazzling sword light illuminated the starry sky. Even the countless wild beasts in Base 9 were frightened, and they fled in all directions. The might of this sword strike had scared them out of their wits. No! Zhu Yan let out an unwilling roar. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. Do it. I don't want to die here. I don't want to. Hurry up and do it. Zhu Yan was screaming, and his expression was flustered. This was also a confusing sound. He seemed to have a helper, but this helper was not doing anything. Zhu Yan was paralyzed. He was in despair, and there was no hope at all. What was the bronze chariot? In front of a Dao divine weapon, the bronze chariot was directly cut in half by this peerless sword embryo. Ah! Zhu Yan felt as if he was struck by lightning, and he felt a chill from head to toe. This sword strike struck the ground, and a huge crack spread out to Base 9, almost cutting the entire Base 9 apart. Everyone in the sky and on the ground who looked up to watch the battle felt their hearts beat faster. Just now, they felt as if their bodies and souls would be destroyed when the sword light struck. What kind of terrifying supreme treasure was this? However, Su Yan felt that although the 9 dragon-treasured sword was strong, it was not as strong as the Tower of Trials that Bamboo Moon gave him. If he could master the power of the Tower of Trials, he would definitely be able to unleash an even more terrifying source of power. This sword strike was as powerful as the sea, and it intimidated the world. The entire Huaxia alliance fell silent, and then a huge uproar broke out. Su Yan! Su Yan! God of War Su Yan! God of War Su Yan! Countless people shouted. From the moment Zhu Yan revealed his true face until now, less than half a day had passed. Zhu Yan was cut in half, from head to toe by Su Yan's sword. There was no way he could survive. Good. Xia Zhe clenched his fist. Zhu Yan was dead, and the biggest tumor in the Huaxia alliance had been removed. Their sore point had also been eradicated. In the future, with them around, the wild beasts would no longer be a threat to them. The future of the Huaxia alliance was bright. Chi-Chi. The 9-dragon treasured sword broke apart and stabbed into the ground around Su Yen. It spewed out sword light and radiance. Su Yen knelt on the ground on one knee and gasped for breath. He had no strength at all. He also felt lucky that he could kill Zhu Yen this time because of the 9-dragon treasured sword. Otherwise, who could stop Zhu Yen? They could only watch him slaughter the countless creatures in the Huaxia alliance. Quack quack, this treasure belongs to me, the beast god. Tai Baokai bared its teeth and ran out excitedly toward the 9-dragon treasured sword. What it said made the people here cry and laugh at the same time. They were all worried about Su Yen just now. What? When Tai Baokai rushed to the gate of the collapsed Huaxia city, its hair suddenly stood up, and its whole body was filled with dragon-like breath. Go! Tai Baokai made a hysterical roar and shouted at Su Yen, but no matter how loud its voice was, it couldn't stop what happened next. Xia Zhe and other people who were crossing to Huaxia city changed their faces greatly. Zhu Yan's body that was split into 2 parts suddenly united. His eyes opened suddenly, and the fear disappeared completely. Instead, it was replaced by a cold smile, like an old poisonous snake, staring at Su Yen. You! Su Yen also had goosebumps. Zhu Yen came back to life? He wanted to stand up, but Su Yen was too tired. He had no strength at all. He was exhausted. Buzz! Zhu Yan's forehead bone emitted a burst of destructive breath like lightning. Within a radius of 1,000 miles, there was a wave that made people panic. As if an ancient god came to the world, a bright light rushed out from Zhu Yan's forehead bone, illuminating the sky. These strands of energy were terrifying to the extreme. A kind of energy that originated from the void suppressed Su Yen. Ah! Su Yen screamed in pain. His forehead bone was broken, and the primordial spirit inside began to distort. Even the power of Sutra of Future couldn't stop the power of primordial spirit released from Zhu Yan's forehead bone. Void-level primordial spirit. Xia Zhe and other people's eyes were about to pop out. What a horrible primordial spirit! How could such a horrible old monster come out of the earth? He could kill people from thousands of miles away. In Zhu Yan's forehead bone, it seemed that the sea of primordial spirit was burning. There stood an old man in a purple robe. His whole body was illusory, but his breath was too horrible. The light of primordial spirit rushed out of the forehead bone and rushed to Su Yan's forehead bone in an instant. It's over. Tai Baokai staggered and almost fell to the ground. This man wanted to seize Su Yan's body and occupy his precious body. Bang bang! Those who saw this scene felt their hearts beat faster and they were suffocating. The world was filled with the sound of violent heartbeats. Everything seemed to be happening very slowly. They were furious and helpless. They couldn't help Su Yen at all. Someone let out a sorrowful cry and wanted to stop all of this. A great crisis struck. Su Yen felt that his primordial spirit was being shattered. The old man in Zhu Yan's forehead bone was definitely not Zhu Yan. However, this old monster's primordial spirit was too terrifying. He had cultivated to the void level, and could become one with the void. Su Yen thought that in less than a second, his primordial spirit would be shattered and his body would be occupied by the other party. At this moment, wisps of cold breath enveloped Su Yan's body. This breath was very cold, like a snowy mountain with piercing cold wind. It was bone-chilling. Suddenly, Su Yen recalled the time when he climbed Mount Everest. Due to insufficient preparation, he almost froze to death on the snowy mountain. However, he met the old Tibetan and his granddaughter later on. Time seemed to have returned to Mount Everest, to the time when he met the old Tibetan and Yun. No! Su Yan's eyes widened in anger. A woman in white appeared in front of him. She floated like a fairy. Her hair was jet black and she was cold and elegant. She came to protect Su Yen. primordial spirit light suddenly burned from between her eyebrows and rushed towards the purple-robed old man. It collided with Su Yan's primordial spirit and produced a terrifying collision. Bastard! The purple-robed old man's primordial spirit roared. He didn't expect Yi Si-yun to jump out and block his path. Yi Si-yun's beautiful body trembled violently. She raised her beautiful face. Her primordial spirit shattered in the trembling. Her soul was almost scattered by the purple-robed old man's power of possession. She fell to the ground and was caught by Su Yan. Su Yan's body trembled. He couldn't bear this scene. He coughed up blood and his eyes were bloodshot. He roared angrily, ah! Su Yan stared at the purple-robed old man ferociously. He wanted to tear him apart, but he didn't have any strength left. His primordial spirit was also severely injured. The place seemed to have quietened down. Someone saw Tai Baotsai's primordial spirit leave his body and transform into a golden panda. It carried a golden bell and charged over. It shook the golden bell and vibrated the primordial spirit, killing light towards the purple-robed old man. Su Yan's expression changed drastically. This was because the body of the beauty in his arms was rapidly turning cold. The signs of death made Su Yan feel fear in his heart. If I leave, bury me in the snow mountain. Don't look at me. The dreamlike murmurs made Su Yan feel like he was struck by lightning. His eyes were filled with tears as he roared, "You won't leave. You won't." All of a sudden, a gust of wind blew past and blew away a corner of the veil covering her face, revealing half of her aged face. Su Yan hugged Yi Si-yun and let out a painful cry. Chapter 141. In the end, he still saw it, Yi Si-yun murmured. She was a little despondent. She did not want Su Yan to see her aging appearance. She had stayed in the space of the snow mountain for decades. When she broke the seal again, she was already old. She was more than 50 years old, and her lifespan was almost up. If not for the strong essence of Mount Everest, she would not have survived. Although she had embarked on the path of cultivation, she could not reverse the past and restore her appearance. Youth was fleeting, and one's appearance aged easily. Yi Si-yun had thought of a silent release, but she did not know how to face others. Her youth had not yet begun. When she woke up again, her appearance was already old. But every time she thought of the person she cared about, who was still trapped in the space of the snow mountain, Yi Si-yun cultivated bitterly. She wanted to be strong and save Su Yan from there. This was her goal to live on. Why would I despise you? I even blamed you wrongly. It's my fault. I've harmed you, Su Yan cried bitterly. His palm caressed her aged cheek. The beauty of the past had lost her life because of him. Su Yan's heart was broken. It's not your fault. It's fate. I want to be free. You have to live well. Yi Si-yun smiled. She was tired. After 100 years they met again. Yi Si-yun did not want to see Su Yan. She did not want to see him. Thinking of this, Su Yan was in agony. He hugged Yi Si-yun and said in a trembling voice, "Nothing will happen to you. Nothing will happen." Su Yan. Inisi's expression was weak. She said softly, "Your words are enough. I really don't want to live anymore. Let me leave this world slowly. Bury me on the snowy mountain." On the snowy mountain. She used all of her strength to finish saying these words. Her aura rapidly weakened and her eyes were filled with confusion. Only Su Yan's appearance was fixed in her mind. A smile that had not appeared for 100 years appeared on her face. She recalled a long time ago. Su Yan's appearance was similar to now. She felt that it would be great to go back in time. Maybe they could grow old together. Who is this woman? The residents of Huaxia City didn't know who the woman who suddenly appeared was, but her appearance blocked Su Yan's tribulation and saved his life. But this woman probably paid with her life. It's her. Su Bingshuang clenched her jade-like hands. It must be Yi Si-yun. Then the person who threw Su Yan out of the snow mountain space must be Yi Si-yun. It turned out that she had been helping Su Yan. What shocked people was the spirit of Tai Baokai. It was a golden panda with a golden bell. This bell was very powerful. It rumbled and broke out the roar of mountains and tsunamis. It blocked the power of the purple-robed old man for a while. Spirits sacrifice mystic treasure. Xia Zhe and the others rushed over. Suddenly, 6 spirits sacrifice mystic treasures were awakened. They cooperated with Tai Baokai and attacked the purple-robed old man. The purple-robed old man used his strongest state to revive his spirit. But in the end, it ended in failure. Especially after being hit by Yi Si Yun's spirit, his spirit was also exhausted. Bastard! The purple-robed old man could only retreat. With the power of his spirit, it was too difficult to stop him. Before he left, the purple-robed old man stared at Su Yan with a venomous gaze. He coldly said, "Lucky little fellow, just you wait. I will be back. You won't be able to live for long." Su Yan's cold eyes stared at the purple-robed old man. He did not say a word. He carried Yi Si Yun, who was about to lose all signs of life, and rushed madly towards the chaos crack. Su Yan knew very well that the only person who could help Yi Si Yun now was the old Taoist in the trial space. With Su Yan's talent and level, the trial space might really be able to help Su Yan. Tai Baokai thought to himself, after all, the purpose of the trial space is to cultivate the future progenitor. With Su Yan's potential, the guardian of the strongest trial space might be able to help him. But no matter what, the appearance of the purple-robed old man made Tai Baokai completely certain that Zhu Yan was definitely an outsider. The current Huaxia alliance was in a state of silence. Too many things had happened today. Too many things. First of all, at least 100,000 residents of Base 9 had died. All of them had been sacrificed by Zhu Yan. If Su Yan had not taken out the 9-dragon sword and scared away the beasts, it would have caused a great war in the Huaxia alliance. Who would have thought that Zhu Yan would be so vicious? He had hidden for so many years. When he revealed his fangs, it was hard for them to accept. For the past few decades they had worshipped Zhu Yan, the god of war, but this god of war had treated the Huaxia alliance as his medicine farm. I hate it. The families that had followed Zhu Yan in the past did not know how to explain themselves. They did not even have the strength to do so. They had already opened Zhu Yan's lair and saw that most of their people had become food for the beasts. Not even their bones were left. All of this was like a dream. Xia Zhe and the others were silent. They had a premonition that their future would be even crueler. The Huaxia alliance was too weak now. How could they resist the foreign experts? Huaxia alliance, enter a state of war readiness. Xia Zhe announced. All the forces in the Huaxia alliance were mobilized by Zhu Yan and rushed to the various bases. Xia Zhe had a premonition that the purple-robed old man would not give up. He wanted to possess Su Yan. He would not be able to see Su Yan continue to grow. There is someone behind Zhu Yan. They will make a comeback. This person almost killed God of War Su Yan. I wonder who that woman is? God, please take pity on her. I hope nothing happens to her. Many people looked at the chaos rift with concern. Su Yan had entered the trial space. Perhaps there was a way to protect Yi Si Yun. Su Yan, I told you before that you can't bring others in. In the strongest trial space, the old Taoist was dissatisfied. You actually broke the rules. The rules of the trial space have always been clear. Little guy, you crossed the line this time. Plop! Su Yan knelt on one knee and placed Yi Si Yun on the ground. What are you doing? The old Taoist was shocked. He quickly helped Su Yan up and said, I don't dare to accept this. Get up quickly. We can talk slowly. Senior, please help me. Save her. Su Yan said in a low voice. Our planet is being invaded by aliens. Her primordial spirit is about to shatter in order to save me. Primordial spirit shattering. The old Taoist frowned. Alien invasion? Yes, I believe you have a way. You have the secret medicine to repair the life spring. Su Yan begged. Senior, please save her. She doesn't have any injuries. It's just that her primordial spirit was damaged. Please save her life. The old Taoist checked Yi Yun's injuries. Yi Yun's primordial spirit was still there. It was just that it was shattered. As time passed, it would slowly dissipate. There's not much time left. Senior, please help. I will repay you generously in the future, Su Yan said seriously. If you can't do anything, I will try other methods. There might be a chance. A chance? The old Taoist shook his head. Who can heal this kind of injury? You mean that you can? Su Yan's heart was filled with joy as he hurriedly said. I can. The old Taoist shook his head and smiled bitterly. But it's not that easy. This concerns the primordial spirit. If Senior needs anything, please let me know, Su Yan said in a low voice. I see. The old Taoist pondered for a while and said, I can help you suppress her primordial spirit for 3 months. 3 months at most. After all, her primordial spirit is shattered. With my methods, it's only 3 months. If you can pass the 4th stage of the trial space within 3 months, I know that there's something good in the 4th stage that can help her. 3 months, I can definitely do it. I definitely can. Su Yan let out a sigh of relief. Of course, it was only 3 months. If the 3 months were up, Yi Yun would definitely die. Without her primordial spirit, even the elixir would not be able to save her. Listen to me first. The old Taoist pondered. After a while, he said, the 4th level is very difficult. With your current achievements, the chances of you passing the 4th level in 3 months are very slim. Don't think that the 4th level is easy. 3 months is too short. Since someone succeeded in the past, I can definitely do it too. Su Yan clenched his fist and said, Definitely. All right. The old Taoist sighed slightly. Since you have the confidence, then go ahead. He knew that Su Yan could not do it. 3 months was too short. To pass the 4th level in 3 months was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. At this moment, the old Taoist's palm suddenly emitted thousands of strands of light. This kind of power was very strange. It densely covered Yi Yun's forehead and turned into a seal that sealed her entire consciousness. Su Yan used his primordial spirit to see through Yi Yun's primordial spirit and found that it had stopped collapsing. 3 months, I only have 3 months. Su Yan carried Yi Yun and looked at her. Yi, don't worry. As long as I'm here, nothing will happen to you. Just as he put Yi Yun into the phoenix hairpin's space, Su Yan found some white cloth hidden in her sleeve. Su Yan took it out and saw that there were words on the white cloth. This is the letter that Yi left for me. Su Yan's pupils shrank. There were many words on the white cloth. They were densely packed and detailed, from the moment Yi Yun entered Mount Everest. It even described Su Yan's 100 years of experience. As for Su Yan's origin, his heart sank. His speculation was correct. Su Yan was not only an outsider, but his purpose was to obtain the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin. Back then, the 3 of them had all been trapped in the space of the Snow Mountain due to the appearance of it. Su Yan, I slept for a while. When I woke up, I was already old. I am an old woman now. I don't know if you can still recognize me. Perhaps one day you will appear here and see the white bones on the ground. You will see the words I left on this white cloth. If you have any conscience, you should bury me near the snow mountain. Su Yan lost control of his emotions. He did not know how Yi Yun had felt when she wrote these words on the white cloth that she carried with her. Su Yan seems to have changed into a different person. After he woke up, he did not say a word. He just sat there and stared at the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin hanging on the dome. I don't know what secret is hidden here. Why can Su Yan not age? I can't do it. I don't eat every day, but I don't feel hungry. What is wrong with this world? Yi Yun wrote down her experience in the space of the Snow Mountain in the form of a diary. Su Yan, I am out. It has been 60 years. I am 80 years old. My youth has been buried by the snow mountain. Isn't it funny? I am old. The world has changed. I think you will like this world, but I don't want to live anymore. I want to be free. Su Yen clenched his fist. He could imagine Isi Yun's despair back then. The world had changed. It was wonderful, but she was pitiful and helpless, like a child without a home. The Snow Mountain Dragon coffin opened. I even saw you floating up from the opened coffin. Photos of Tai Baokai and Isi Yun are out. You can see them on my Weibo XIN public and Zhong account. The process is to click on the Add Friends page, search for Ia Qingtian, and follow. Chapter 142. When you crawled out of the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin, I could faintly see that you had grown old. That was because the Snow Mountain space closed. Zhu Yan and I came out again. As for that dragon, I never saw it. You were old, and so was I. Only Zhu Yan was still young. But I didn't know how to save you. Perhaps the heavens took pity on me. I originally thought that my life would be in a quiet place, guarding the Snow Mountain and slowly dying of old age with you. But I didn't expect that I would encounter some opportunities and embark on the path of cultivation. Later, I met Zhu Yan. Zhu Yan said that he could open the Snow Mountain space. Although I knew that Dao Zhu Yan wasn't reliable, he knew too much about the god and devil civilization. I could only choose to stay and cultivate in silence, hoping that I could really open the Snow Mountain space. Su Yan, I saw a woman today. Although she was wearing a mask, I could still see her face. She looked very similar to the picture you showed me. She should be Su Bingshuang. It seems that she was also looking for you. I finally rescued you. Zhu Yan didn't succeed. He didn't even know that you were still alive. Furthermore, you actually regained your youth. This is really unfair. The words recorded on the white cloth stopped there. Su Yan looked at these words. He had read them many times. His eyes looked at Yi Si Yun. He took a deep breath and said, I allowed you to stand. Isn't it because of your youthful appearance? The god and devil civilization definitely has the power to rejuvenate you. Su Yan put Yi Si Yun into the phoenix hairpin's space. His emotions fluctuated as he clenched his fists. He raised his head and looked at the sky. He had slept in the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin for 60 years, slowly aging. Then, he had spent more than 30 years in the Snow Mountain space. He had become very young and even regained his youth. The strength of the Snow Mountain space had exceeded Su Yan's expectations. Su Yan originally thought that it was the Snow Mountain Dragon coffin that allowed him to regain his youth. He didn't expect it to be the Snow Mountain space. But what was the dragon coffin? Why had he slept in it for 60 years? Su Yan found it hard to believe that 60 years had passed. Su Yan took a deep breath and suppressed his emotions. He put Yi Si Yun into the space of the phoenix hairpin. Then, Su Yan entered the 4th level. 3 months, I can definitely do it. As soon as he pushed open the bronze door, Su Yan felt as if he had barged into an ancient world. What greeted him was the boundless might of the great Tao. This is... Su Yan's pupils dilated. He felt as if this was a small universe that was suffused with a suffocating saintly might of the great Tao. Countless divine power of rules lingered in the heavens and the earth, fusing and interweaving together to form a sacred region. The laws that Su Yan comprehended were like a chasm when compared to the laws in this holy region. Could this be the rule to open the holy gate? Su Yan was moved. The space of the 4th level was extremely shocking. This place was like a real world. The laws that were manifested were profound to a shocking level. No wonder the old senior said that it would be difficult to pass this place. It would take a few years. It won't be easy to comprehend the laws here. Su Yan took a deep breath. The test of the 4th level was a little difficult. It was to comprehend these laws, construct the holy gate, and step into the Tao Gate realm. The essence of heaven and earth here is so rich. Su Yan was speechless. The pores on his body were glowing as they automatically absorbed the essence of heaven and earth. Su Yan's injuries were very serious, and he had consumed a lot of energy. But now, under the nourishment of the surging essence of heaven and earth, his injured body was recovering. Su Yan sat cross-legged and absorbed the essence of heaven and earth to heal his injuries. He was also immersed in his thoughts. Slowly, Su Yan's state of mind became empty. He visualized himself and visualized the Initiation Sutra. The initial scripture naturally had a method to create the Tao sect. Su Yan began to study it. The more he studied, the more he realized that the Tao sect chapter of the initial scripture was similar to this sanctuary space. Su Yan was pleasantly surprised. He was very excited because the Initiation Sutra's Tao and laws were very similar to the laws here. With this, his comprehension speed would be greatly increased if he combined it with the Initiation Sutra. Most importantly, the Saint Domain space had simplified the initial sutra. Su Yan was suddenly thinking about the relationship between his ancestor and the training ground. Could it be that his ancestor was an expert of the earth lineage? I want to open the Holy Gate in 3 months. Now that I have the help of the Initiation Sutra, the speed will definitely be faster. Su Yan cleared his mind. First, he took out a praying mat. After sitting on it, Su Yan's body shone brightly. At this moment, he seemed to have merged with the entire holy region. Su Yan, I really have to thank you. Su Yan's eyes flashed with a cold light. This praying mat was very precious. He had a greater chance of passing the test. Su Yan wasn't in a hurry to comprehend it. He took out precious beast skin maps one after another. They were all obtained from Su Yan's cultivation room. On them were the cultivation experiences of experts. They were also very helpful to Su Yan. Let's begin. Su Yan entered the state and studied the scriptures on the beast skin map. Together with the Initiation Sutra, he began to comprehend the Tao Gate. Time passed slowly. In the blink of an eye, half a month had passed. The entire Huaxia alliance was no longer peaceful. The 10 major bases were faintly trembling. In the vast wilderness, there was an endless stream of beastly roars. The commotion was getting louder and more shocking. Endless ferocious aura was transmitted from all directions. Countless beasts roared in the night sky and charged towards the Huaxia alliance. Everyone be on guard. The 10 major bases were forged from steel. They were filled with an iron-blooded battle intent. Countless killing swords were unsheathed. They lit up the night sky and filled the air with terrifying fluctuations that made everyone tremble. Kill! This was an unprecedented war. It came faster than Xia Zhe and the rest had estimated. The 10 major bases were attacked by countless beasts. Every base had a demon king guarding it. The number of beasts in the army was increasing exponentially. The Huaxia alliance was covered in blood. This was a great battle. It involved the entire Huaxia alliance. No one could escape. Kiki. Su Yan's figure was faintly discernible in the army of beasts. An old man in a purple robe stood on his forehead. He said in a cruel voice, "Not a single ant can escape. I want the entire Huaxia alliance destroyed. When I take over Su Yan's body, the entire earth will be mine." His eyes were full of greed. He said coldly, "Su Yan, don't worry. I will take care of your body. I have told you not to be too greedy. However, your greed is right. I am not willing to give such a great opportunity to the Ancestral Hall's big shot." Zhu Yuankui recalled the past. The organization he was in was considered a superpower in the universe. For a long time, the Ancestral Hall had been searching for the heavenly coffin on a newly awakened ancient planet. What was the heavenly coffin? Zhu Yuankui did not know. However, if the Ancestral Hall's big shot had been looking for it for so long, one could imagine how important the heavenly coffin was. They drove the battleship across the universe. However, they encountered a cosmic storm along the way. Zhu Yuankui's body was shattered, and the experts traveling with him also died. Only Zhu Yan, a core member of the Ancestral Hall, was unharmed. Just like that, they arrived on Earth. However, the Earth had not awakened. Moreover, their realms were slowly dissipating due to the environment. They were unwilling to give up and searched frantically, hoping to find a way to leave. They found Mount Everest and discovered that it had some secret. They had climbed it many times but to no avail. 120 years ago, Mount Everest was dyed red overnight. They rushed to the peak of the mountain, but unfortunately, they did not find anything. 20 years later, the mountain began to grow on its own. It was as if its life had been awakened. Su Yen, I don't care what secrets you are hiding. Give me some time and I will make you spit them all out. Zhu Yuankui smiled coldly. Back then, their influence in the Huaxia Alliance was not small. They had closely investigated those who went to the mountain this year. In the end, they noticed Su Yen. It was only when Zhu Yen followed Su Yen to the mountain that Earth entered the divine devil civilization. The battle was getting more and more intense by the day. Countless beasts rushed to the Huaxia Alliance, wanting to tear apart the major bases. It was like the end of the universe. Countless soldiers were bathed in blood. Fortunately, Su Bingshuang opened a divine-grade Dao door and became the pillar of the Huaxia Alliance. Even a demon king who had opened the Dao door would not be able to do much at the moment. In the trial space, in this sacred domain space, Su Yen had been in seclusion for almost a month. His body was glowing, and the sound of chanting was transmitted from his body. Every syllable was shocking, like a mountain falling down. This was the power of the laws. Su Yan's mastery of the laws was improving rapidly. His entire body was densely covered with the traces of the laws. As time passed, it gradually became terrifying, as if a door of the great Tao had opened here. Rumble! The sound of hammering metal could be heard between heaven and earth. The life cauldron rumbled as it rotated in the void. The laws of scriptures that appeared from the cauldron gradually became terrifying as Su Yan's mastery of the laws increased. The divine might of the cauldron was also increasing. Su Yan's aura was monstrous, and his life aura was majestic. Evolve! Su Yan took out the Genesis brush. This was his greatest trump card. With the help of the Genesis brush's spatial laws, his mastery of the laws was temporarily raised to another level. He spent nearly 3,000 origin essence stones to successfully evolve the Genesis brush. The world of laws that evolved once again caused Su Yen to be intoxicated. Every day, he seemed to be sublimated. His body involuntarily seeped out of his body like chains of laws, causing the sacred domain space to rumble. 10 days and 10 nights passed. Su Yan's pupils were like 2 bolts of lightning. His body was like a golden furnace that connected the heavens and the earth, emanating a vague aura of the great Tao. The Genesis Sutra could be cultivated in both the physical body and the life spring. Su Yen used the sacred domain space to deduce the Genesis Sutra, and his physical body was raised to another level. When Su Yan's physical body awakened to the extreme, Su Yen seemed to disappear. He seemed to have become one with the sacred domain space. The first base has been broken. Su Bingshuang is heavily injured, and Zhu Yen has returned. Chapter 143. People shouted and beasts roared. The army of beasts rushed into the first base like a torrent. Every base suffered heavy casualties and corpses were piled up outside the city. But now, Su Bingshuang, the leader of the first base, was seriously injured and almost killed by Zhu Yuankui's primordial spirit, which caused a huge uproar. The gate of the first base collapsed under the impact of the beast. Zhu Yan's body recovered. Although Zhu Yan had died, Zhu Yuankui was very familiar with his body and could exert a very strong combat power. Without Su Yan, Zhu Yan was now the most powerful man on earth. Kill! Zhu Yuankui laughed and rushed into the first base. He wanted to destroy the whole Huaxia Alliance, dig out Su Yan and occupy his body. Boom! At this moment, one after another, the harsh sound of a dragon's roar echoed in the whole Huaxia Alliance. Under everyone's shocked eyes, a terrible shadow appeared in the sky above Huaxia City. The bronze body was full of the supreme power of tearing the sky and splitting the sea. One after another, huge dragon-shaped pillars penetrated the sky with him. For a time, his power was overwhelming and swept across the vast territory. He turned into the most brilliant martial arts star in the Huaxia Alliance, illuminating the broken rivers and mountains. Buzz! Yuan's long black hair danced in the wind. When he pulled the bow, a strand of horrible qi filled the air. The whole Huaxia Alliance was shaking and fluctuating. This ancient bow was extremely horrible. Yuan could be regarded as the reincarnation of his descendants. He bent down and shot arrows. The bow shone and swallowed countless essence of heaven and earth. Huaxia City turned into a big black hole. As soon as the arrow was fired, a terrifying beam of light tore through the night sky and headed straight for base number 9. It was like a blood-red dragon that had penetrated a few hundred miles of land. Oh no! Zhu Yuankuei's face changed dramatically. At this moment, Zhu Yan's body was locked by the sword light. This was because the arrow that Yuan shot out was not formed from energy. Instead, it was an arrow made from the blood spear. One could imagine how shocking the combination of two great treasures was. Zhu Yuankuei almost lost all hope. Why was there another freak on Earth? Even Yuan had repaired his life spring. His battle prowess was even more terrifying than Zhu Yan's. It's the war god. The entire Huaxia Alliance was in an uproar. This arrow was too terrifying. It tore through the night sky and was terrifying to the extreme. It was like a blood-colored evil dragon that dominated the heavens. Zhu Yan's flesh shell completely collapsed as the arrow pierced through his heart. As for Zhu Yan's Yuan spirit, he had fused with the void and escaped. He let out a roar of grief and indignation. After losing Zhu Yan's body, no matter how strong his Yuan spirit was, what could he do? Kill. The martial god charged over, wanting to kill Zhu Yuankuei. Su Bingshuang smiled. The martial god had already awakened 10 days ago. They wanted to lure Zhu Yuankuei out, and that old thing really fell for it. I can't accept this. Zhu Yuankuei's Yuan spirit traversed the void. His face was ashen. Why would a freak with a king physique come out of a primitive planet? And even Su Yan. His dream was shattered just like that. One had to know that a Yuan spirit that had lost its physical body basically had no room for growth. The appearance of the martial god had caused Zhu Yuankuei to lose all hope. Huaxia Alliance, this matter will not end just like this. No matter what, I will destroy the entire Earth. I still have a chance. As long as I report this matter to the Ancestral Hall, the big shots will definitely find a way to help me find a powerful body. Zhu Yuankuei had made a decision in Zhu Yan's lair. He took out a set of array discs that were as valuable as the sky. There was no turning back now. If he did not summon the Ancestral Hall's experts, he would fall on Earth. At that time, the secret of this place would be preserved forever. There were no less than 100 array discs, suffused with the divine splendor of the stars. When combined together, they formed a huge array disk of the starry sky. Zhu Yuankuei had been keeping this array disk all this time. This was a very precious array disk of the starry sky. Its value was even more shocking than a Dao weapon. It originated from the Ancestral Hall. When they came to Earth, the essence of Earth had not awakened, so they could not activate the array disk of the starry sky. The result was different now. With the density of the essence of Snow Mountain, it was enough to unleash the power of the array disk of the starry sky. This way, they could communicate with the array disk of the Ancestral Hall. Rumble! The starry sky array released a terrifying devouring power. The starry sky array, which was formed by hundreds of array disks, burned in an instant and swallowed countless essence of heaven and earth. From this moment on, the bright starry sky light was released from a corner of Earth and radiated into the starry sky. At this moment, the entire Huaxia Alliance fell silent. Yuan and the others' expressions were ugly. They had read in ancient books that some extremely terrifying starry sky arrays could cross galaxies. This is bad. Xia Zhe's angry roar reverberated throughout the Huaxia Alliance. I'm Xia Zhe. The Huaxia Alliance is now in danger. The aliens have activated the starry sky array and can communicate with other planets. They can even send people over. Once the experts of their forces come, the entire Earth will be enslaved by them. The Huaxia Alliance trembled. Countless people were scared. Once that day came, the consequences would be unimaginable. Taoist realm experts, charge out with me. We must destroy the starry sky array. Xia Zhe raised his arm and called out. Taoist realm experts from all the major bases of the Huaxia Alliance rushed out. There were now 10 Taoist realm experts in the Huaxia Alliance, and the martial god was the strongest among them. They did not stop and rushed towards Zhu Yan's base crazily. They wanted to destroy Zhu Yuankuei's plan. Is the situation really that dangerous? Someone said in fear. Martial god Xia Zhe and the others did not stop for even a moment. They are charging out. Will there really be many aliens coming to Earth? All the major forces were uneasy. Xia Zhe and the others had already charged out. They wanted to destroy the starry sky array at all costs. You insects want to destroy the starry sky array. What a joke. Zhu Yuankuei laughed sinisterly. I've been forced to this step by you. I've given up everything. Now, it's time for the Huaxia Alliance to pay the price. Boom. The starry sky array became much more terrifying. Thousands of starlight beams rippled and pierced through the starry sky. At this moment, countless starlight beams fell from the vast starry sky. They turned into the Milky Way and pierced through the huge starry sky array that covered 10 miles. We must destroy it. The martial god and the others took out their weapons and attacked the starry sky array. However, the power of the starry sky array was too terrifying. Even with their strongest attacks, they could only shake the starry sky array. It was difficult to destroy it. A bunch of ants. You can't do it. Zhu Yuankuei sneered. When the experts of my race arrive, the entire Earth will be destroyed. Billions of lives will be buried with them. No one will survive. His voice. Yuan and the others felt a chill down their spines. This was what they were worried about. If the starry sky array could really communicate with the superpowers in the Milky Way, how could Earth resist the invasion of aliens? Xia Zhe and the others were unwilling to give up. They attacked the starry sky array crazily. However, it was useless. The starry sky array was too sturdy. It absorbed the power of the universe and the energy of the Earth. The entire array flowed with the aura of the sea of stars. It was going to penetrate a distant region. The Huaxia Alliance was silent. Many people's faces were pale. They felt that a disaster was imminent. War God Su Yen. Some people looked at the chaotic rift, but they sighed. Even the martial god and the others couldn't destroy the starry sky array. Even if Su Yen came out, it would be useless. The footsteps of death were approaching the Huaxia Alliance. On this day, in the chaotic rift, in the Saint Realm space, one after another, the chanting of sutras was transmitted here. Every syllable was loud and clear. The entire Saint Realm space fluctuated and scattered the divine light of laws. There was a figure sitting cross-legged inside. He was like a deity. His entire body was suffused with the aura of the great Tao. A cauldron above his head was swaying. Starlight poured down from it. The cauldron's body was intertwined with resplendent scriptures. It was as if priceless immortal scriptures were imprinted on the cauldron's body. The cauldron's body was becoming more and more astonishing. It was as if it had turned into a door of the great Tao. The cauldron's potential was awakened. It was filled with a terrifying power that could crush heaven and earth. The cauldron had transformed. It was extraordinary. It increased along with Su Yan's cultivation. It shrank rapidly and turned into a small, sparkling cauldron. Then, it entered Su Yan's life spring. At this moment, Su Yan's life spring erupted. The chi essence within it was awakening continuously. When the cauldron rumbled in his life spring, it sprinkled down boundless power of laws. It densely covered the entire life spring. The life spring transformed. It was as if it had turned into a blurry door. As the power of laws increased, the entire life spring was astonishingly complex. The initial sutra, life spring realm, weapon building realm, Tao Gate realm. The fourth realm was the Tao Gate realm. In order to open the Tao Gate, one had to derive the laws from the life spring. The life spring was like an independent world. It could evolve 9 Tao Gates. It was said that when the 9 Tao Gates merged, one would cultivate the Tao Gate and seize the power of supernatural powers. What a guy! The old Taoist had been paying attention to Su Yan's cultivation. At this moment, he saw the dense power of laws flashing in Su Yan's life spring. With each passing day, more and more laws were engraved. The old Taoist realized that the laws engraved by Su Yan were equivalent to the laws of the entire Saint realm. Once this day arrived, it would be the moment when Su Yan opened the Tao Gate. The crisis that the Huaxia alliance was facing was getting more and more serious. With each passing day, the morale of the Huaxia alliance was greatly reduced. Xia Zhe and the rest had used countless methods and used all their trump cards. However, they were still unable to destroy the astral formation. We can't stop it at all. Yeah, the astral formation is too strong. Even if the power of the entire Earth is combined, we still can't stop it. Some of the Tao Gate realm experts were about to lose hope. After so many days, the astral formation was still intact. They were wondering if there were already experts from the Ancestral Hall who had started to cross the galaxy and follow the power of the astral formation to reach Earth. Zhu Yuankue was clear that the astral formation needed a certain amount of time. It would easily take 10 days to half a month. He didn't know how far he was from the Ancestral Hall, but as long as the astral formation was activated to the maximum, it would be able to trigger the Ancestral Hall's reaction. On this day, Zhu Yuankue was pleasantly surprised. He could faintly feel that the astral formation was buzzing. Ha ha! Zhu Yuankue couldn't stop laughing. You're all dead. In less than half a month, the experts of my race will cross the galaxy and kill their way here. They will trample the entire Huaxia alliance and crush you like a bunch of insects. The entire Earth will be ruled by my race. On the other side of the astral formation, there seemed to be an ancient chaotic palace. There were many blurry figures sitting cross-legged in the chaos. They seemed to have remained motionless for a long time. There was also a vague mysterious aura in the quiet chaotic palace. It made the chaos tremble, as if it couldn't seal their aura. A small team that has been lost for hundreds of years suddenly activated the astral formation. A figure awakened. For a moment the chaos split apart. The sun and moon wailed. He was too terrifying. He could be said to be the god of chaos who created the world. He let out a loud voice that made the sky tremble. According to the Mother Formation's general reaction, the destination is very far away. Is it worth the resources? Crossing the galaxy? That was too difficult. Chapter 144. Maybe a team will find the whereabouts of the heavenly coffin. It's worth a try, someone said. It was as if they had been silent for thousands of years. They moved their bodies slightly, and a terrifying aura tore through the chaos and pierced through the sky, almost shattering the stars. When will this dream wake up? Countless years have passed, and it's impossible to find the heavenly coffin. Someone sneered. No matter what, it's worth a try. It's just a waste of resources. It's nothing. These terrifying existences were talking, and the entire Chaos Hall was shaking. The strong cultivators who passed by were trembling on the ground, not daring to look up. They talked for a short while, then fell into silence, as if they would not leave the Chaos Hall easily. The mother array of the clan was awakened, and a large number of divine materials were burned to ashes. These were divine materials, and it was extremely difficult to cross the starfield. Only the most powerful forces were qualified to open the starfield gate and cross the starfields one after another. The divine materials turned into monstrous divine energy, driving the mother array and sending away the elites of the clan one after another. Time passed day after day. After 3 days and 3 nights, the entire Huaxia alliance trembled under the pressure of the aura, and countless mountain ranges were about to collapse. "They're here," someone said in fear, trembling. They saw that in the area of the starry sky array, there were vague figures in the vast burning starry sky array, crossing over to the Huaxia alliance. "Ah!" Yuan let out a furious roar. They were already here. Once they arrived, the entire Huaxia alliance would be destroyed. Our clan can't die because of this. We can't. Xia Zhe was furious and clenched his fist. However, there was nothing he could do. The cultivation civilization of a powerful ancient planet was definitely much more advanced than that of Earth. Why do I have a bad feeling about this? In the strongest trial space, Su Yan suddenly heard many people calling out to him. His expression changed slightly. He did not know what was happening outside, but his breakthrough would be completed soon. Faster, faster! Su Yan's entire life spring was shining brightly, and the chanting of scriptures was heard. Inside the life spring, there were many complicated runes that interweaved with each other, as if an ancient saint was reciting scriptures inside. The dense patterns in Su Yan's life spring had already formed some sort of connection with the Saint Realm's space. At this moment, his inscribing speed became even faster. Su Yan's primordial spirit burned to the extreme as he frantically comprehended the limited number of densely packed runes, accelerating his power to break through. Every day that passed was like a year to the Huaxia alliance. It was as if they were sitting there waiting for death. They could only watch as the starry sky power in the wasteland grew more and more terrifying. Su Bingshuang could faintly see a long river running through the star field, becoming clearer and clearer, and there stood one grim figure after another, like gods and devils. As time passed, their appearances became clearer and clearer, more and more majestic. "They're coming." Su Bingshuang's scalp went numb. She looked at the chaos crack and said in a trembling voice, "Brother, I don't know what to do, but the enemy is too strong. The Huaxia alliance can't stop them." Xia Zhe and the others knew that even if Su Yan came out, it would be useless. Zhu Yan was already terrifying enough, but with more than 10 existences that were even more terrifying than Zhu Yan, who could stop them? "How is it?" Zhu Yuankue sat cross-legged in the starry sky array and said coldly, "My race's experts are coming. I advise you all to kneel here and wait for their arrival. This way you will suffer less. If you're lucky, you can even become a slave and not die a horrible death." The Huaxia alliance fell into panic. "You old thing, your Lord Baokai is just taking an afternoon nap, and you're already so arrogant. Who gave you the courage?" Tai Baocai's arrogant voice suddenly sounded. Some people looked at the funny national treasure and suddenly wanted to laugh. They laughed loudly. Tai Baocai was wearing a red doo-doo and a treasure bowl on his head. His whole body was shining like a landlord. He was very funny and jumped out. "You evil creature, when my race's experts come, the first person I'll kill is you. I'll turn your bones into ashes." Zhu Yuankue clenched his fists tightly, and his whole body was filled with a terrifying killing intent. His ferocious eyes stared at Tai Baocai, and he laughed hysterically. "Then I'll boil you into soup. You dare to scold Lord Baokai? I think you're tired of living." Under everyone's incredulous gaze, Tai Baocai's aura suddenly became ferocious. Its whole body was filled with demonic energy, and it was as if a peerless demon had appeared here. At this moment, Tai Baocai was like a giant mountain made of divine iron. Demonic aura surged from his body, and his entire body vaguely transformed into a terrifying door. Inside it, there seemed to be tens of thousands of demons hibernating. How is this possible? Zhu Kuei's whole body was trembling. He pointed at Tai Baokai and pointed at the vague door that it had revealed. Because this was a sacred gate. In Tai Baocai's door, it was as if a primordial demon sage was chanting scriptures. At this moment, Tai Baokai could be said to be the king of all demons. The terrifying aura that it emitted made the vast wilderness tremble. Countless ferocious beasts rushed out and started to rush towards Tai Baokai. This is a sacred gate? Xia Zhe was blind. Tai Baokai actually had such a heaven-defying foundation. Yuan shook his head. This was not a sacred gate, but a half-step sacred gate. It could barely be considered a sacred gate. Tai Baocai's door was like the gate of demons, but the shadows of the demons were a little blurry. Therefore, even if it was not a sacred gate, it could still be considered a half-step sacred gate. Although it was only a half-step sacred gate, it was already heaven-defying enough. In the prosperous world of cultivation, it was considered a genius. Tai Baokai might be able to complete this sacred gate. What's going on? Xia Zhe and the rest did not have much hope. Although Tai Baokai had opened a half-step sacred gate, how strong could its combat power be? However, the next scene made them stunned. Tai Baokai held a big flag. When he waved it, the aura of a demon king surged and swept across the vast wilderness. In an instant, thousands of beasts roared and rushed over to worship. Everyone was stunned. What was going on? Could Tai Baokai have become the king of all beasts? He can't really be the beast god, right? He can actually command all the beasts in the world. Not only that, in a distant region, the endless sea was roaring. Countless sea beasts crawled out from the sea and rushed towards Tai Baokai. In an instant, it was as if all the beasts on earth were rushing towards Tai Baokai. Thousands of beasts rushed over. This scene was too shocking. The roars of the beasts tore through the sky. Roar. Demonic aura surged between heaven and earth. Countless beasts bowed to Tai Baokai as if it was a supreme demon king. The people of the Huaxia Alliance were extremely excited. The beasts that were their enemies were now bowing to Tai Baokai. Guys, look. It was a shocking scene. In the sea, the ferocious aura dissipated. However, one after another, large ships crossed the sea and came over. On the ships, countless cultivators of the Western Alliance stood, waving their weapons and shouting. Western Alliance? Xia Zhe was dumbfounded. What was going on? He even saw Fatty turn into a giant and stand on the leading ship as if he was their leader. He was leading countless cultivators of the Western Alliance. Their speed was very fast, and they were already here. What's going on? Su Bingshuang rushed over and asked. Fatty scratched his head and said awkwardly, Baokai swam over and controlled the beast army of the Western Alliance. The Western Alliance treated him as God. Yuan and the others' faces twitched. Tai Baokai had become God? What God? Tai Baokai corrected them. He was very dissatisfied with this word and said, I'm the beast god, do you understand? In short, this time, Tai Baokai was very powerful. It swam to the Western Alliance and waved its flag to control all the beasts of the Western Alliance. It calmed the flames of war in the Western Alliance and saved the Western Alliance. In the end, these people treated him as God, so Tai Baokai brought them over to show off. They never expected to encounter a catastrophe. Fatty's face darkened when he saw the Western Alliance cultivators staring at Tai Baokai with fanatical gazes. Tai Baokai was too evil. It had cheated the Western Alliance of countless resources. The Western Alliance knew little about the divine devil civilization, but Tai Baokai had taken away countless treasures. Yuan shook his head. These cultivators of the Western Alliance were too weak. They couldn't help them. Kiki, even if you summoned millions of soldiers, what can these bugs do? Zhu Kuei smiled coldly. And you, beast, I can already see your future. You will become a mount and charge into battle for the experts of my race. Isn't it just a broken formation? Tai Baokai waved its flag. The flag flapped loudly and released the aura of a demon king. It was like a smoke signal that pierced through the sky and spread to the vast beast army. From this moment on, countless ferocious beasts roared and charged towards the starry formation. Set up the formation. Tai Baokai charged forward with the flag. The flag was very strange. It radiated light beams that scattered on the foreheads of the beasts. At this moment, the aura of millions of ferocious beasts erupted. Under the influence of the flag, their auras combined to form a terrifying 10,000 demons formation. Could this be the legendary banners of demons of the 10,000 Demons Star Zone? Zhu Yuankui was envious. He knew of the legendary banners of demons. It was once the war flag of the demon race. This flag was once held by several demon supremes. They ruled over millions of demons and left behind the aura of the demon race's supremes. Therefore, once the banners of demons awakened, millions of demons would be mobilized. But how could such a treasure fall on a primitive planet? Tai Baokai was now relying on this flag to activate the endless beast tide. When the auras of these beasts merged into one, they turned into a huge array that connected the heavens and the earth. The terrifying demonic chi filled the sky and penetrated the vast starry sky. The cultivators from the Western Alliance were so excited that they almost knelt on the ground and kowtowed. The Huaxia Alliance was in an uproar. This was too heaven-defying. Once the banners of demons appeared, millions of ferocious beasts charged towards the starry formation, forming a terrifying 10,000 demons formation that charged towards the starry formation. Zhu Yuankui felt his scalp tingle. Once the starry formation was destroyed, the group of powerhouses that charged over would definitely be in trouble. A terrifying collision shook the starry sky. Countless mountain ranges were trembling, as if the entire earth was shaking along with them. One after another, earth-shattering explosions resounded between the heavens and the earth. Tai Baotsai's expression was solemn. It did not know if the starry formation could be broken. Although the 10,000 demons formation was powerful, the cultivation of the living beings on earth was too weak. Even if the 10,000 demons formation was formed, it would be difficult to break through the starry formation. Quick, look! Someone roared excitedly. In the starry formation, one of the blurry figures began to tremble and shatter. No! Zhu Yuankui's scalp tingled. The starry formation had been shaken. Once the starry formation was hit while crossing the starry field, the powerhouses that crossed over would also perish. One by one, the powerhouses began to shatter in the starry formation's projection. 4 of the dozen powerhouses had fallen in an instant. Boom! The 10 great experts who were still alive were doing everything they could to revive. Extremely terrifying auras filled the air. They were all roaring angrily. Their auras followed the senses of the giant starry sky formation, pushing over endless power to stabilize the shaking giant starry sky formation. The Huaxia Alliance was silent. They had failed. Chapter 145. All of you, just wait for your deaths. Let's see how you escape this calamity, ha 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 ha. This scene made Zhu Yuankui shout excitedly. You even killed 4 of my race's great Jia. Let's see how you pay with your lives. At this moment, the starry formation was filled with layers of divine power. Without a doubt, this was the power of the ancestral formation being pushed over by the 10 great powerhouses to stabilize the starry formation that was on the verge of collapse. He estimated that they would arrive in less than 3 days. What should we do? What should we do? Is there no hope for Earth? Can we only watch as they attack us? Xia Zhe and the rest clenched their fists, their faces ashen. Although they had killed 4, there were still 10 universe powerhouses. Don't panic. Tai Baokai breathed heavily and said fiercely, We'll guard here. Once they attack, we'll attack them directly. The moment they descend, these people will be suppressed by Earth. Their combat strength won't be at its peak, so we still have a chance. According to Tai Baokai, they still had the strength to fight, but it knew that once they failed, the top group of people on Earth would be reduced to ashes. Once this happened, no one would be able to protect Earth. If God of War Su Yen can come out, will our chances of winning be higher? Someone asked. Tai Baokai shook its head. How long had it been? Su Yen couldn't open the sacred gate. Normally, it would take 1 or 2 years to accumulate. Even for Su Yen, it would be difficult for him to enter the most powerful trial ground. Every day was a torment for them. The next day, in the depths of the most powerful trial ground, the entire space in the sacred realm was shaking as if it was going to collapse with a wisp of aura. What a great creation! Su Yen was pleasantly surprised. After all, he knew that he had used up countless resources to open the life spring. Now that he wanted to open the sacred gate, he didn't know if he had enough origin essence stones. However, now that Su Yen had comprehended all the rules of the sacred realm, the entire sacred realm was burning from this moment onwards. Rumble! The power of rules fell down and drilled into Su Yan's flesh shell, then penetrated his life spring. At this moment, Su Yan's life spring blazed brightly. The laws he comprehended were exactly the same as the laws in the Saint domain. Thus, they could fuse together. When they fused together, Su Yan's life spring seemed to have turned into an ancient saint domain. Terrifying air currents flowed around it. He actually succeeded. The old priest was speechless. How long had it been? Su Yan's fate spring had completely transformed, turning into a saint domain of laws. When his fate spring recovered to its peak, his fate spring surged out like lightning, emitting strands of heaven-piercing potential. I want to open the holy gate, open the holy gate. Su Yen faced the sky and roared. The origin essence stones in the cauldron had all melted. The origin essence chi that flowed out pierced through the life springs, causing Su Yan's life springs to show signs of collapse. Rumble! In his body, chanting sounds were transmitted. The power of the life springs intertwined with the power of rules and attacked the faintly discernible ancient gate. Wave after wave, the deafening divine sounds exploded. This was the most powerful breakthrough. Su Yen had already comprehended the method to open the holy gate. Every time he tried to break through, Su Yen felt like he was struck by lightning. He felt like he was about to be destroyed by the power of the blurry gate. 1. Su Yan's body circulated to the extreme. At the moment when he became one with the weapon, his body turned into a blurry ancient star, withstanding the power of the blurry gate. Every time he tried to break through, he would need to consume countless amounts of origin essence energy in Su Yan's body. Fortunately, his life spring was powerful enough, and he had a lot of divine power stored in it. He also had so many origin essence stones to back him up. That was how he could ensure a successful breakthrough. Rumble! The laws were like the sea, intertwining and penetrating into the life cauldron. To open the holy gate, a life cauldron was indispensable. Su Yan's life cauldron was filled with a power that could collapse the world. It was like an ancient star that crashed into the holy gate again and again. The old Taoist's face was solemn. Why was it so difficult? With Su Yan's foundation and cultivation, half a day was enough. He had been nourished by the holy domain's spatial laws, and his control of the laws was astonishing. However, an entire day had passed, and Su Yen had yet to open the holy gate. What kind of physique did he have? Old senior, my foundation is not enough. Su Yan's voice sounded. The old Taoist smiled and said, Don't worry about breaking through. The strongest trial ground will help you open the first holy gate. Just as he finished speaking, in the fourth stage, the aura of essence chi permeated like the sea and penetrated Su Yan's body. Su Yan's weakened aura became even more terrifying. He roared as his entire body erupted. Blood essence flowed through the life cauldron, and the life cauldron burned brightly. Open for me! Su Yen let out a wild roar. After dozens of collisions, the blurry Dao gate faintly opened up some cracks. Strands of fluctuations that could suppress the universe seeped out. It's about to open. The old Taoist's eyes widened. It had been 2 days and 2 nights. Every time Su Yan struck the Tao Gate, he used all his strength. The life cauldron gradually became more terrifying as the power of the stars within increased. The Tao Gate gradually became clear as it opened. Su Yan didn't know how many times he collided with the door. When he finally collided with the door, his door suddenly opened with a rumble. For a moment, it erupted with a terrifying might that could collapse the heavens. Inside, there was a blurry sea of chaos roaring, shooting out countless chaotic lightning bolts. This was an extremely terrifying vision. It was like a universe that had yet to open, filled with chaos. Rumble! All the origin essence stone's power penetrated the blurry Tao Gate. At this moment, Su Yan's Tao was profound. The moment his life cauldron rushed in, it spewed out countless laws and heavenly marks. It began to open up his world in the chaos. His Tao Gate gradually became majestic and terrifying. It was as if there was an ancient saint chanting scriptures inside. It was filled with dazzling brilliance. It was incomparable, causing heaven and earth to dim. It was terrifying and majestic. There were countless visions inside. There were blurry stars, a faintly discernible red sun, great Tao golden lotuses entwined with chaotic aura, majestic chaotic figures. These were visions and not real scenes. But once Su Yan's sacred gate became stronger and stronger in the future, these visions might evolve into a real scene. The moment the sacred gate opened, Su Yan's body surged. His primordial spirit grew brightly, and his aura started to skyrocket. Rumble! Su Yan stood between heaven and earth like the divine king who opened up the chaos. He emitted an incomparable aura that illuminated heaven and earth. I've succeeded. Su Yan looked up to the sky and laughed. He had opened the sacred gate and sensed the vast divine energy in his body. His combat strength was not to be underestimated. Moreover, because he had comprehended the sacred gate, his physical combat strength had increased by a notch. The current Su Yan could not be compared to a few months ago. If he were to fight with Zhu Yan now, he would be able to suppress him in one move. This is beyond my expectations. I didn't expect you to use such a short time to open the sacred gate. The old Taoist sighed. He said, once you open the 9 Daesong gates, you will be amazing. Your future achievements will be limitless. Old senior, I'm in a hurry. I won't say much. Su Yan walked up and said in a deep voice, my reward for the 4th stage. How can I leave you out? The old Taoist's sleeves shook, and an item fell from the void. Heaven and earth instantly became extremely cold, as if they had been frozen. It was a snow-white jade bed. It looked as if it was carved out of ice that had been frozen for thousands of years. Frosty aura rose from it, and divine light lingered around it, shining brightly. Old senior, this is? Su Yan was shocked. He could feel the aura of a divine material. This frosty jade bed seemed to be carved out of a very rare divine material. This frosty jade bed can suppress her aura. The old Taoist pondered for a while and said quickly, I'll tell you the truth. If you want to completely cure her, you will need something extraordinary. There are such things in the strongest trial ground, but they are all extremely terrifying treasures. Old senior, how long can it last? Su Yan asked nervously. 3 years. The old Taoist said, actually, this frosty jade bed is a special treasure that can help her cultivate. During the process of being frozen, the frosty jade bed can nourish her body. Her body is very special and has a lot of room for growth in the future. 3 years. Su Yan's breathing was heavy. Can I obtain the treasure in the strongest trial ground in 3 years? Impossible. The old Taoist shook his head. Don't be delusional. 3 years isn't a long time, but there is still a glimmer of hope. If you want to save her, you will need a saint medicine. Even a soul essence saint medicine is too precious. However, her primordial spirit's cultivation is not high, so you don't need a saint medicine. You only need a small portion of it to completely cure her. 3 years to find the saint medicine. Su Yen clenched his fist. He carried Yi Si-yun out of the phoenix hairpin's space, and placed her on the frosty jade bed. At this moment, the frosty jade bed shone on its own. Strands of divine material spread out and penetrated Yi Si-yun's body. Because the temperature was too cold, Yi Si-yun's body was frozen. However, Su Yen discovered that the frosty jade bed's divine material was automatically nourishing Su Bingshuang's body and even nourishing her broken primordial spirit. Unfortunately, the frosty jade bed was unable to repair Yi Si-yun's damaged primordial spirit. If the frosty jade bed's divine material is exhausted in 3 years, does that mean I can find another frosty jade bed and let her live? Su Yen asked. The old Taoist shook his head. That's not possible. Everything is predestined. She was supposed to die, but she went against heaven's will. It's already not bad that she can last for 3 years. 3 years, I only have 3 years. Su Yen put the frosty jade bed and Yi Si-yun into the phoenix hairpin's space. He took a deep breath and said, Old senior, there are still many things to do outside. I have to go out for a while. The old Taoist waved his sleeves and teleported Su Yen out. However, when he came out, the aura that filled the air caused Su Yan's expression to change.